From McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota, I'm Cade Busick alongside Andy Simon as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Davies Eagles, those in basketball action. But before that, I have an exclusive interview with Shanley girls coach Steve Jacobson. Coach, how are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing real well, and thank you again for being here.
Not a problem.
Well, obviously, you guys had a little bit of a rough game against Devils Lake, so how did that Cheyenne game feel to come back after that?
You know, we came out and we showed what we're capable of. We're not at the peak that we want to be, but we came out that second half, and I think we showed a lot of schools how good of a team we can be and how good of a team we will be if we just continue to improve every day, coming into the gym, doing the little things right.
That's good. That was a really impressive win the other day. Hey, so my next question, you're actually coaching against your uncle tonight. How does that feel to go against him tonight?
You know, taking it just like another game. You know, this is the third year we've been at each other, and I can't look at it any different. He's here to win a game. I'm here to win a game. And, you know, it's going to be a great game. We both know what we're going to do against each other, which makes it even funner. But, you know, my goal is and my job is let's get this win tonight, and let's do it on a chance on how well we play. And, you know, I still think we're one of the top teams in the conference. We just got to play like it tonight.
Is there any different buzz from the girls coming into this game?
A couple of years ago, absolutely, 100%, because of everything that happened. Now, with the younger girls that we do have, they just want to come out and play the game, and they want to play it hard. And they're taking it like one more game at a time. You know, it's like every game we're up on the board 0-0. And after the game, we write up there whatever it was, won or lost, that's what we are. And then we move forward.
Hey, you know, you mentioned your younger team. How are Hadley and Riley doing as the new leaders of this team, even with the only one senior?
You know, they're doing a fantastic job. We've done a lot of different things this year to help with the younger team. We've put together a team bonding day. Then I'll give your mom all the credit for that one that took 4 hours. But, you know, it brought the girls closer together, and we've done some other things. And, you know, as long as our leadership stays together, and that's talking all the girls in the program, we'll get better every night, 100%.
That's the goal of every day. Well, last question for you. Who's one other team that we should be watching out for in the East?
Grand Forks Red River is going to be up there on top. They play their 2-2-1 full court, slow down tempo game. And they're a very good team. Devils Lake just beat them the other night by 6, so that tells you that any team can beat anyone on any given night. We're just hoping tonight it's our turn.
Okay. All right, hey, thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. You guys do a great job.
Hey, thank you, Coach.
Is that good enough?
Thank you.
If it's not
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank.
From McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota, I'm Cade Busick alongside Andy Simon as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Davies Eagles in EDC basketball action. Andy, what are some things to watch tonight?
Well, Shanley has very good defense, so I think if they come to play, then Davies' offense will really be shut down. And on the other side, Davies has a very good offense, so it'll kind of go hand in hand as to whether it'll be a good game or not.
Hey, thank you, Andy. Right now, we're going to send it to a word from our sponsors, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with EDC girls basketball action, folks.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
We thank you, Father, for gathering us together tonight here for these contests. We ask you, as always, to be with us, watch over us, bless us, keep the players free from injury and harm, allow them to play to the best of their ability, reward them for their efforts, may they enjoy the contest here tonight, and may everything we think, say, and do here this evening give you great honor, glory, and praise. We pray all this in your Son, Jesus, by the power of your Holy Spirit, you are God, forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. At this time, I'd like to draw your attention to the scores table as Shanley basketball player Heather Huber will read the EDC Sportsmanship Creed.
The North Dakota High School by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As high school student athletes, we commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support our effort.
And we're back. So, Andy, this is a big rivalry game. What are some of the emotions going through these players' bodies tonight?
Well, obviously they both really want to win, and I think Shanley just has a great passion for the game, and I think they'll come in here really fired up and really want to stick into this Davies team. And also on the Davies side, they also really want to come in here and beat these guys who've had a long-standing rivalry with over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, these schools, they're only separated by about a mile apart. These schools want each other bad. And they're hungry for this game. Shanley right now comes in at 4-1. Davies about 3-2. And we're obviously starting to jockey for some positions. And Shanley's kind of been on it's been a tough streak. They've done well in the streak. They've split against Devils Lake and Cheyenne. But now they're coming off this. Who are some players we need to watch tonight, though?
Well, on the Davies side, I really think we got to look for Taylor Fay, Brooklyn Koenig, and other players like that who really come to. They're great leaders on the team. They're great scorers, great on defense. And on the Shanley side, one player I think really should look for is Riley Payne. She's really good at coming in, you know, putting a couple points up here and there, but she's also very good on defense, very locked down. Doesn't take much from anyone.
Yeah, Payne, she's played really well this year, arguably the second best player in the EDC, behind Manson, who the Deacons were able to beat her in the Mustangs last Friday. She's definitely one to watch. One thing to watch with both teams here tonight, these are a couple of young teams, and that's something that you always got to watch for. I believe between the two teams, they only have about 5 seniors, and I think only about 2 or 3 of them start. So, I mean, you got to see how these younger players are going to react, especially in this kind of big rivalry game.
Yeah, it's great to see young players kind of get reps on varsity just to kind of see how they react to it, and so they can kind of become accustomed to it as the years go on, and hopefully when they're seniors, they'll be great players.
But yeah, this also means this is going to be a fun rivalry to watch for years to come. I mean, Shanley only graduates 1 senior here, and I mean, right now I believe Davies is starting 3 sophomores. There's going to be a lot of fun to come from these two teams.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in these next couple of years as some of these players get older.
Yep. And so we're getting ready for the tip-off here. Shanley's going to be the home team in white. Davies in maroon is going to be the road team. This is going to be a fun one, though. Shanley is going to start 4 juniors, and a sophomore. Or Davies, I believe, will start a junior, a senior, and 3 sophomores. So 2 young teams, like we mentioned, but 2 very good teams in the EDC so far, or like we mentioned. But I'm excited for this one. As we get ready for the tip, it will be Taylor Fay and I believe Riley Payne going up for the tip. And it's going to go to Paper. Paper is going to give it over to Watcha. Watcha's going to bring it up the floor. And she's going to swing it over to Shuck. Shuck's going to throw all the way across to Koenig. Koenig for 2. No good. Rebound Busick. Busick, pressured by Watcha, is going to throw it up ahead to Huber. Huber's going to go on the far side. And she's going to give it to Manuel. Manuel's going to dribble over to the middle. Manuel all the way to the hoop. No good. Rebound Payne. Payne for 2. It's good on the putback. Paper will try to inbound. It will get stolen by Manuel over to Busick. Manuel stepped out of bounds, though. And it will stay Eagles basketball on the sideline. Shanley is coming out in a man-to-man pressure, or full court press. Ball's going to go over to Watcha. Watcha, pressured by Huber, is going to come up. She throws it ahead to Shuck. Shuck had Faye wide open, couldn't get it to her. Watcha for 3. It's good. And now Davies is going to come out in their own little press. Ball's going to go over to Huber on the far side. Huber's going to dribble up. Ball's going to go over to Busick. Busick's going to dribble it up on the near side, now over into the middle. Busick goes over to Huber on the far side. Huber's going to call for a screen, not going to get it, so she's going to dribble in. Ball's going to go over to Busick in the corner. Up to Manuel on the far side, into Crispin. Crispin out to Busick. Busick looking to shoot, doesn't. Into Crispin. Crispin up for 2, no good. They're going to call a foul on Crispin going for the rebound. It will be an over the back, her first and the first team foul. Now Paper will inbound. It's going to Koenig. Koenig, it's going to get stripped and taken away. They're going to call a jump ball. Riley Payne came in there to force that jump ball for the Deacons, and it will be Deacon basketball on rotating possession. Payne will inbound. She tries to get into Manuel. Stolen by Watcha. Watcha's going to push it up the middle. Watcha's going to have it punched away, and it's going to go out on the Deacons. It'll be, Eagles ball underneath. Watcha will inbound from underneath the Deacons basket. She's going to throw it in, and then it's going to go to Paper. Paper's going to go back to Watcha. Watcha's going to dribble in baseline, and it's going to be taken away by Crispin. Now, rotating possession, it will stay with the Eagles. And Watcha will inbound again from underneath the Deacon basket. He's going to go into Faye. Faye for 2. It's good.
Basket by Taylor Faye.
Ball's over to Huber. Huber up to Manuel. Then back to Payne on the near side. Payne's going to throw it over to Huber in the middle of the floor, then back over to Busick on the far side. Busick's going to come back to Huber in the middle. Huber's going to go over to Payne. Payne is going to give it into Huber. Huber for 2. It's good. And the lead is cut to 1. Payne's trying to get it in, gets it into Paper. Her Paper looked to have been tied up, but got out. Now she's trapped. She gets it out ahead to Koenig. Koenig's she's going to throw it out of, no, they're going to say it went off a Deacon, and it will stay Eagle basketball. Excuse me, Watcha will be inbounding from underneath the Deacon basket again. It's going to go over to Koenig. Koenig's going to go back to Watcha. Watcha for 3. No good. Faye's going to come up with the rebound, though, underneath the basket. And I believe they called a foul. I'm not quite sure who it's on. Kelly Chrisman, that is already her second just 2 minutes into this game. And we're going to see a sub for Chrisman here pretty quick. Ball's going to go in, and Paper's going to get the shot. No good. And Payne's going to come down with the rebound. Payne's going to try and dribble up the middle, and she gives it up to Huber. Huber's going to dribble down the right. For 2. No good, but she was fouled. She will go to the line for 2.
It's great to see both these teams coming out early in this game, being very aggressive, trying to take every opportunity they can get to get the ball or score.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you obviously always want to see from both teams when they're working like that. And they're both pushing the ball, and we're trying to have some pace here. Part of that is being influenced by the press. They aren't letting you sit back, which we always like to see. But Huber makes the first, and Mattern comes in for Chrisman now. Huber makes the second, and the Deacons have their first lead of the night. Payne gets the steal. She's going to go over to Busick. Busick for 2. It's good, and the foul. She will go to the line and shoot the and 1. Foul there was on Koenig, I believe. That's her first, and we have Safransky checking in. Only a freshman for the Eagles, just to show you how young these teams are. Busick makes it to make it a 4-point game. Watch is going to get the ball. And she's going to give it up to Shook. Goes up ahead to Safransky. Safransky's going to go back over to Paper. Paper's going to dribble in for 2. Off the board, no basket. Faye's going to get the rebound. She throws it out, and Watcha couldn't quite get to it. It will be Deacon basketball on their own sideline, right next to their own bench. Davies appears to have taken their press off. Safransky will guard Busick. She'll get a screen from Huber. Back over to Huber. Huber's going to drive in. Back over to Manuel at the top. Manuel's going to drive to the left. Busick's going to get the ball and over to Mattern. Mattern is going to drive in the middle, spin move, kicks it out to Busick. Busick's going to come in now. Payne for 3 from the corner. No good, but Huber's going to end up with it, and she gets fouled now, and she'll be shooting for 2.
As aggressive as both teams are playing, they're also both doing a great job of moving the ball around and kind of opening up opportunities for different players to get points.
And that's something that you really like to see from your team. You like to see them sharing the ball and just giving the player with the best shots the ball instead of maybe just your best player taking them every time, which we haven't seen from this Deacon team. We haven't seen that at all. Yeah. Frostley is checked in for Davies. Paper looks to inbound. She gives it in Frostley. Frostley's going to dribble up the far side. She gives it up to Faye. Faye for 2. It's good. And Mattern inbound for the Deacons. It'll go into Busick, but Busick will give it up to Huber. Huber's going to give it back to Busick on the far side. Busick's going to take one dribble and give it up to Huber. Huber into Manuel. Manuel's going to give it up to Huber. Huber looked to shoot, but then she drives in. Now she's driving around over to Manuel. Manuel for 2 is blocked by Safransky. Ball is still loose. Faye gets it. Faye's going to throw it up ahead to Paper. Paper looking to pass it over to Safransky, into Faye. Faye for 2. No good. Rebound, Payne. Payne's going to throw it up ahead to Busick. Busick's going to pull it out. She got too far in and wasn't able to get a shot, but it's over to Huber. Huber over to Manuel. Manuel's going to drive in. Shot no good. Rebound, Frostley. Ball goes over to Safransky on the far side. She's going to dribble in. Ball's over to Shook. Shook over to Frostley. Ball is punched out, and Frostley comes up with it. Paper has the ball on the far side. Ball went back over to Frostley. Frostley's going to throw it all the way over to Shook. Shook gives it into Faye. Faye up for 2. No good. Mattern gets the rebound. Mattern's going to bring the ball up, but she gives it up to Huber. Huber takes it over. She comes to the near side. Gives it up to Mattern. Mattern looking for help. Gives it to Busick. Busick comes back. Gives it to Mattern. Mattern for 3. No good. And it'll be Davies' ball.
Checking in for the Deacons, number 12, Natalie Heinrich.
Heinrich checking in for the Deacons. She'll be checking in for Manuel. Safransky's going to bring the ball up for Davies. Paper, excuse me. Paper goes over to Shook on the far side. Ball gets hit, and going to be a tie-up. It should be Deacon ball, I believe, on rotating possession. And it will be. Koenig is going to check back in for Davies.
Checking back in for the Eagles, number 33, Brooklyn Koenig.
Payne is trying to inbound. She gets it into Huber. Huber's going to go back to Payne. And as Payne will bring it up. Payne's going to give it up to Huber. Huber's going to drive in. Shot, no good, but she was fouled. She will go to the line now. She'll get 2 shots.
Fouls on number 5, Taylor Safransky, first personal.
Safransky picks up hers first. One thing to watch, Davies already has 4 team fouls. They're getting really close to Shanley is really close to the bonus already.
Yeah, I think that bonus could come real in handy for the Deacons, as both teams, neither of them have really had much luck with jump shots inside or outside the arc. Most of their points have come from free throws or just kind of coming up in for an easy layup.
I want to give a shout out to Sarah LaFleur in Minneapolis, taking a break from finals to watch Shanley girls basketball. Thanks for watching, Sarah, as Payne comes up with the steal. She's going to give it up to Mattern. Mattern's going to dribble in. She gives it up to Payne. Payne for 2. It's good. And Shanley now extends its lead. And Davies will take their first timeout. So, Andy, what are these teams talking about right now?
Well, on the Shanley side, I think the coaches are kind of saying, just keep doing what you're doing. You're staying calm. You're making good You're making good passes around each other, getting good shots. And on the Davies side, I think they're just kind of telling each other to relax a little bit, slow things down, just kind of let things develop, because they seem a little bit rushed out there as Shanley comes in very strong. But yeah, I think after this timeout, hopefully they'll cool down and it'll be a bit more even.
Yeah, I think they'll cool down a little bit. I mean, got to get the jitters out. A young team in a big rivals gym, that can always make it tough. But I think they'll calm down here. I mean, they're playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores. That's always going to make it tough on you. Yeah, but I mean, they've played all right. They're only down a few points. They've got to start to lay off the fouls. But what do you think the impact of Kelly Crispin being on the bench early with fouls will have?
Well, I mean, she's obviously a very good player, and it's great to see her out here. But when she's on the bench, you can kind of see that there's something missing from the Shanley Deacons team, whether it's on offense and defense. She's a very aggressive player in the paint and really good both on the offensive and defensive side.
Well, now we're back to the game as Davies will inbound. Shanley's going to mix it up and come up with a little different zone than they've been running. The ball's going to go over to Paper. She's going to dribble over, gets trapped, gets it back to Safransky. Safransky is immediately trapped, and they're going to get a 10-second violation there on Davies. So now that's Shanley ball. After the violation, you have to get the ball over the half-court line in 10 seconds. That's what that violation was. As Busick will bring the ball up, guarded by Safransky. Safransky's going to go over to Mattern. Mattern to Payne down low. Payne out to Busick. Busick's going to dribble in up to Heinrich. Heinrich's going to go back to Busick. Busick's going to give up to Huber. Huber's going to go left, but then she's going to stop. Payne's going to get in the corner. Payne for 3. No good. Rebound Frostley. It will be thrown out of bounds, and it will be Deacons basketball underneath the Eagles hoop. Watcha will be checking in. Ball into Busick. Busick for 2. It's good, and Shanley now extends the lead to 8. Koenig's going to bring the ball up. She's going to pass over to Watcha. Watch over to Paper. Paper's going to bring the ball up the near side. Over to Koenig. Koenig for 3. No good. Rebound Huber. Huber's going to take the ball up the far side. She's going to drive in. She's going to get stripped, but they're going to say out on Davies, on the Davies Eagles, and it will now be the Eagles, or excuse me, still Deacons ball. Payne to inbound. She gives it to Mattern. Mattern back to Payne. Payne's going to drive in. Shot for two, no good. And it's going to be rebounded by Faye. Faye's going to give it up to Paper. Paper's going to throw it over to the far side. Into Faye. It's going to get punched out, and they're going to say still Eagles ball. Last touched, I believe, by Payne there. And watch will inbound. Payne, it's going to be stolen by Mattern. Mattern over to Huber. Huber's going to look up court, and it's going to be punched away by King, but it will be out of bounds on Davies and stay the Deacons ball. That was a really athletic play there by Koenig, though.
Yeah, she did a great job of kind of getting up the court to recognize that the ball was still in the air and just hit it out.
Huber's going to go over to Busick. Busick's over to Heinrich. Heinrich's in trouble, and it's going to be a jump ball, and it will be Davies' ball on rotating possession. Ball's going to go into Watcha. Watcha's going to give it up to Paper. Paper's going to go up to Frostley. Frostley's going to... Ball gets punched away by Payne again. She's having a really nice defensive game. But there's going to be a foul on Frostley of Davies. That's their 5th team already, team foul.
Yeah, I guess big rivalry game, kind of coming in here with fiery tempers a bit, kind of getting a little too aggressive at times, but for the most part, not too bad.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be part of it. I mean, this Davies team's got to be a little concerned because I don't think they've scored in about 4 minutes or so.
Shanley's gone on a bit of a run while they just kind of sat back and watched.
Busick has the ball. She's going to give it up to Huber. Huber for three, no good. And Shook came down with it. Watch is going to bring the ball up the near side. She's going to dribble in, stolen by Payne. Payne with the one-on-one versus Paper. Payne, she's going to get fouled, and she will be going to the line now for two. And that is a 6th personal. Shanley, with 10 minutes left in the game, will be in in the half, will be in bonus for the remainder of the half. That's that's Paper's 1st personal. The first one is off the rim and no good for the Deacons. Crispin back in along with Manuel for the Deacons. Payne's 2nd. Ball's in. And the Deacons are going to set up a little press. Ball's going to go over to Shook. Shook's going to go ahead to Paper. Paper gives it up to Watch on the far side. Watch is trapped, trying to get out. And they're going to call a blocking foul there on the Deacons on 3. Hadley Huber, her first, and the 3rd team foul. Shook will inbound for Davies. Ball going to Watcha. Watcha's going to throw it into Faye. Faye wide open by herself. It's going to fall out as Huber's going to bring it up. Huber's going to get a screen from Manuel. Manuel wide open. The sharpshooter. No good. And the ball is going to be rebounded by Paper. Paper up ahead to Watcha. Watcha all the way over, and it's going to end up in Koenig's hands. Koenig over to Paper. Paper to Watcha. Watcha for 3. No good. Rebound Payne. Payne down the far side. She's going to give it into Crispin. Crispin for 2. It's good.
For 2, Payne.
Ball's going to be brought up by Koenig. Busick seemed to get a leg on it, but it got into Paper's hand. Now they're going to give it over to Koenig. Koenig over to Shook. Shook looking all the way across to Watcha. Watcha is going to throw it into Paper. Paper for 2. It's good. Payne's going to bring the ball up. Ball got hit by Shook, and she will get the steal there. But Koenig's, and she's going to throw it ahead to Koenig. Koenig's going to go back to Shook. Shook back to Koenig on the far side. Ball gets thrown in. Chrisman got a hand on it, didn't end up with it. It's going to be a jump ball, tie up between Payne and Paper. And it's going to be Shanley ball on the rotating possession.
Shanley's done a great job tonight of applying defensive pressure. There's been many times where Davies has kind of gotten locked up by two Shanley defenders, and they'll kind of start to panic and just kind of throw the ball wherever they can. And that causes Shanley to steal the ball and bring it back down to their zone, back to Davies' zone.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of that, and that's given Davies, that young team, a lot of problems. Koenig is going to go charging down the floor. I think they're going to get Payne here for a blocking foul. That's her first. Shanley with 14 fouls, still nothing to worry about along the bonus lines, but something to keep an eye on. Shukla inbound to Wacha. Wacha at the top of the key. Goes over to Koenig. Koenig. Payne gets another arm up there, and she's having a really nice game. Just getting those, sometimes they're steals, but sometimes she's just knocking the ball out of bounds. She's doing a really good job of that tonight.
Yeah, all around, she's been doing a great job tonight of being very aggressive, making athletic plays, whether it be to take the ball away to put a couple points up on the board.
Yeah, she's having a really solid game right now, and that's what you're asking from her. I think they're going to get Koenig here on the push. I believe that the Deacons are going to be shooting the bonus here. Yep, they'll be shooting the bonus, and that's Koenig's second. That's something to keep an eye on, two already. But now, if Shanley can make their free throws, it's not inconceivable that they could start to run away with this a little bit here. I mean, you got to make them, though.
Yeah, it's easy for a team like in Davies' position to kind of see that they're kind of running behind, and Shanley just keeps on scoring, and they kind of get off the gas, and Shanley just presses down on the gas pedal and then really starts to run away with the game.
Yeah, but I mean, last year, don't forget, Shanley got up about 30, and Davies got back in the game, so you can't rule anybody out, but Shanley's got a chance to break out a little bit of a lead here.
Yep.
Ball's over to Wacha. Wacha dribbles into the corner. She's going to try and throw it over to Koenig. She gets it to the far side. Koenig gives it back to Wacha. Wacha's going to dribble in for two. No good, but she will be going to the line now. That's going to be Manuel's first, I believe, and the 15th foul.
Also number 14, Olivia Manuel, her first personal 15th foul. Riley Wacha shooting two.
If I'm thinking correctly, in about the last 6 or even 8 minutes, that's only the third point they've had in that span. They really need these right now. Wacha misses the second, so she has to settle for a split. Payne's going to give the ball up to Huber. Huber's going to look to throw the ball ahead, but she'll keep it. Over to Busick. Busick's going to give it back to Huber on the far side. Over to Payne in the near side. Payne's going to throw it over Manuel. Manuel's going to give it up to Huber. Huber, she's going to go up for two. Rebound Chrisman. Chrisman's going to check it out to Busick. Busick over to Payne. Payne for three. No good. Rebound Shook. Shook's going to dribble up the floor. She's immediately surrounded by two Deacons. Huber's going to have a one-on-one. Falls out. Busick gets the rebound. Busick for two. It's good. And that pushes the lead out to 11 now. Koenig comes charging down the floor, though, and she cuts the lead down to 9 with a really nice move there and a layup. Ball's over to Manuel. Manuel into Chrisman, guarded by Koenig. Ball gets punched out, and Faye ends up with the ball. Koenig gives it up to Wacha. Wacha dribbling up to the top of the key. She's double-teamed. Gets it out to Shook, though. Shook into Paper. Paper tries to throw a pass, somehow ends up in Faye's hands, and Faye puts up the basket as suddenly there's been about a 5-2 run here by Davies. Ball's going to go over to Manuel. Manuel over to Huber at the top of the key. Back over to Manuel on the far side. Huber gives it to Busick. Busick out to Manuel. Manuel for three. It's good. They're going to say two. Her foot was on the line. That was a two there. Wacha's going to throw it up ahead to Koenig. Koenig's going to give it back to Wacha. He's going to dribble and give it up to Paper. Paper for three. It's good. And they cut this lead down to 6.
Yeah, Shanley's definitely going to need to go on a little bit of a run here if they want to keep applying pressure to this Davies team.
Yeah, that's for sure. And a little bit of an errant pass They're going to stay out of bounds on Davies, so Shanley is fortunate, and they're going to retain possession. I don't want to say they're playing sloppy right now.
Just not as aggressive, I'd say.
I don't even know if it's that. They're just not making the play that they did 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Ball's going to go over to Payne. Payne's going to dribble in. Up to Huber. They're going to call a foul. Payne will go and shoot the bonus now.
Foul number 14, Riley Watcha, third personal, 8th team foul.
Watcha's third already. We'll see if they take her out, but that's got to become a concern for you if you're Davies. Payne will miss the front end of the 1-and-1. And Safransky's going to bring the ball up. Ball's going to go all the way over to Koenig. Koenig for 2. No good. Rebound Mattern. Mattern's going to give it up to Huber. Huber's going to bring it up the middle of the floor. Busick with the ball. She's going to dribble up to the top of the key. Over to Huber. Huber's going to try and dribble in. She's looking for help. She's trapped. Gets it over to Busick at the top of the key. They're going to call, Shanley will call timeout. Out. What do you think both teams are talking about right now?
Well, Abby Grausberger's been having a great game, and she's also been fouling a bit too. But so I think that everyone on the Davies side, they're just kind of saying, no, just relax a little bit. They've been fouling quite a bit, and on the Shanley side, I think they've been doing well so far, kind of towards the end of this first half. They've kind of been cooling off a bit, just moving the ball around, making good shots. But yeah, I definitely think on the Davies side, they just got to stop fouling.
Yeah, that's true for Davies. If you're Shanley, you just got to calm down right now. You also got to be thinking right now, you only got 5 seconds left on the shot clock right now.
Yeah.
So you got to have a play in mind where you're getting a shot off now. Well, Shanley will be inbounding right in front of the Davies bench. Busick to inbound, over to Huber. Huber's going to dribble in with 3 on the shot clock, 2. She gets it up. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Koenig, though. Koenig's going to dribble it up. It's going to be stolen by Payne. Payne up ahead to Manuel. Manuel is going to dribble it out and throw it into, it's going to get stolen away by Grouse. Francis is going to dribble in. Busick's going to come away with a steal. She's going to start dribbling and bring it up the far side. Huber's going to go over to Payne. Payne's going to go all the way over to Mattern. Mattern for 3. It's good! As Shanley extends their lead out to 9 now. Paper's going to dribble in. She's trapped in the corner now. She's going to get over to Faye, though. Faye's over to Koenig. Koenig for a deep 3. No good. It's going to go out of bounds on Davies on Abby Grausberger. And so Payne will inbound. He will bring the ball up for the Deacons. Payne's going to get over to Manuel. Manuel is going to go off Mattern's hands and stolen by Safransky. Safransky's got a 1-on-1. It's good for 2, and the lead is cut to 7. Huber's going to bring the ball up the far side, now up to the top of the key. So you can get it over to Mattern. Mattern gives it into Manuel. Manuel's going to give it over to Busick. Busick for 3. No good. Rebound Koenig. Koenig's going to push the ball up the far side. She's going to kind of lose it, and it's going a little bit of a loose ball. Manuel comes up with it. Manuel's going to give it to Busick, and she'll bring the ball up the middle of the floor. Busick into Manuel. Manuel back over to Busick, over to Huber on the far side. Ball's going to go over to Mattern. Mattern for 3. No good. Rebound Koenig. Stolen by Huber. Huber 1-on-1 with Paper. It's good. Ball gets inbounded to Grausberger. Over to Safransky. Safransky's going to give it up to Paper. Paper's going to dribble across half court, and she's going to get immediately trapped by Mattern. The ball goes over to Faye. Faye's going to dribble in. She's going to get fouled by Payne there, and Faye will go to the line to shoot 2 now.
Fouls on number 5, Riley Payne. Second personal at the free throw line, Taylor Faye.
That's Payne's second now. That was something to keep an eye on, but shouldn't be too concerning as Faye makes the first.
Checking in for the Deacons, number 12.
Heinrich will be checking in for Manuel.
Number 20, Taylor Crossley.
Crossley's checking in for Davies now. As Faye makes the second, and the lead is down to 7. Huber's going to bring the ball up for the Deacons. Calling for a screen. Gives it over to Busick. Busick back to Huber. Huber over to Mattern. Mattern's going to give it out to Payne. Payne for 3. It's good. So Francie's going to bring the ball up the baseline. Paper's going to get the ball. Oh, and she's going to throw it over. Or it's going to be blocked by Payne. Big block by Payne there. And it'll be Davies' ball underneath the Deacon basket. It's going to go in, and it's going to be inbounded, and then Frostley will make the 3 to cut the lead back down to 7. Busick's going to dribble the ball up, over to Mattern. Mattern up to Payne. Payne's going to get fouled, and she'll be going to the line now to shoot the 1-and-1 again.
Ball's on number 5, Taylor Safransky's second personal foul. 19th foul, Riley Payne at the free throw line.
Safransky, that's her second now. Payne makes the front end. And the second. And the lead is up to 9. Francie's going to bring the ball up for Davies. Ball is going to go over to Paper. Paper's going to dribble it up. Gets it out to Safransky. Safransky for 3. No good. Rebound, Payne. Payne's going to take it down, and they're going to call a foul here on Frostley. That is that's her second. The Deacons are in double bonus for the remainder of the half. Payne will go to the line to shoot 2 now. She makes the first. And the second. Francie's going to bring the ball up. She gives it over to Paper. Paper on the near side. She's going to get trapped by Busick and Heinrich. The ball goes into Safransky. Ball's going to go out to Grosberger. No good. Payne's going to get the rebound. Up ahead to Busick. Busick gives it up to Mattern. Mattern over to Huber. Huber from the top of the key. No good. And as the ball went out of bounds, it will be Davies' ball now, underneath their own basket.
Number 31, Oriku Hakeem.
Hakeem just checked in for the Deacons. So Francie's going to dribble it up for Davies. Pass over to Frostley. Frostley into Faye. Faye's going to go charging in. The basket's going to be no good, but she will go to the line for 2 now.
Ball's on number 31, Oriku Hakeem, her first personal 17th foul.
Hakeem, her first. Now Davies will be in the bonus for the remainder of the half, although that's not a huge thing to be worried about if you're Shanley, as there's only about 45 seconds left in the half. Faye missed the first. And the second. Hakeem comes down with the rebound, gives it over to Huber. Huber's going to dribble the ball up the near side. Guarded by Safransky. Over to Busick. Busick over to Huber. Back over to Busick in the corner now. Up to Huber on the wing. Ball into Hakeem. Hakeem for 2. It's good.
Hakeem does a great job of using her height to her advantage in the paint, really going up for rebounds and other easy layups just like that.
She's doing a really good job of that so far. Or although that wasn't exactly textbook.
Kind of jinxed it, but.
Yeah. Huber's got the ball at the top of the key, going to get a screen from Busick. Busic's going to call for it. Gets the ball back at the top of the key. She's going to dribble in, shot for two. No good. And so at the end of the half here, it's Shanley 37-26. I mean, I don't know if the game has felt that far apart. Both teams have kind of gone on some runs, but it's been really impressive by both teams. What would you like? What do you think of the game so far?
Well, I think it's really good for Davies to kind of get a little break here at halftime because they've had a lot of trouble with fouls so far in this first half. And so I think at this half they just kind of need to tell each other to calm down and not be overly aggressive on some plays. And for Shanley, I'd say just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job moving the ball around, opening up opportunities, and staying calm while in pressure situations.
Yeah, definitely. That's something you got to be worried about right now if you're Davies, those fouls. But I think they can calm down here. Here they've got some time to worry about that. You also got to be telling some of your other players a little bit farther down the bench to be ready now because of the fouls, which I'm sure players are getting ready now.
Yeah.
But that's just something you got to make people aware of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, although it's not that good foul out, obviously, it might be a good opportunity to get some of the younger players in to kind of get in the mix, especially in a big rivalry game like this, because this is like one of the biggest games you can have all year if you're Davies, just going up against a big rival like Shanley, and it'll be great for some of the younger players to kind of get in and experience it and see what it's like.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the second half. And we're back to Shanley girls basketball action. So Davies is going to start with the ball. Oh, they're actually going to start by sitting Koenig because of foul trouble right now as they'll inbound to Wacho. Wacho's going to bring the ball up the middle. She's going to be trapped. She's going to get the ball in, and Faye's going to shoot. Faye for two. It's good. Huber's going to bring the ball up. Go over to Busick. Busick on the far side. She's going to dribble in. Over to Huber. Huber's going to dribble up. Back over to Busick on the far side. Busick for three. It's good. Paper's going to inbound to Wacho. Wacho's going to bring the ball up the middle. She's going to go over to the near side. She's going to throw it over to Paper near the top of the key. Back over to Wacho. Wacho into Faye. Faye for two. It's good. Huber's going to bring the ball up the near side. She's going to, nope, she's going to give it over to Chrisman. Chrisman back across to Busick. Busick over to Manuel in the corner. Manuel for two, it's good. Wild, inbounds to Wacho. Wacho's going to dribble up the middle. She's going to throw it over to Paper. Paper's going to dribble in. And it's going to go out of bounds on Davies. It will be Shanley basketball. Payne will inbound to Huber. Huber's going to bring the ball up the middle of the floor. Busick's going to call for it. She's not going to get it, though. Ball's going to go over to Payne. Payne gives it up to Chrisman. Chrisman dribbles in. Ball's going to be taken away by Paper. Paper is going to look for some help. She's going to get some help from Grosskirger. Ball's going to be dribbled over. Over to Wacho. Wacho looking for a screen. Not going to get it. She's going to go over into Wild. Wild into Faye. Faye for two. It's good. Huber's going to bring the ball up. She's going to throw it over to Busick. Busick's going to dribble in. Over to Huber. Huber into Chrisman. Ball is going to get tipped, and Wild's going to come up with it. She's going to give it up to Wacho. Wacho's going to throw it ahead to Faye. Faye, no good this time. And Chrisman's going to get the rebound. Huber will bring it up the near side. Guarded by Wacho. Going to be a screen from Chrisman. Manuel's going to get the ball in the handoff. Pass it over to Busick. Busick's going to come over to the near side. Drives in, shot for two. It's good. And the Deacons are now up 12. Watch is going to bring the ball up the far side. And ball's errant pass there is going to be thrown out of bounds, and it will be Shanley basketball on the near side. Payne will inbound to Busick. Busick is going to give it to Payne. Payne's going to give it into Chrisman. Chrisman's going to shoot. No good. Rebound, Faye. Faye's going to be looking for some help. She's going to give it up to Wacho. Wacho's going to bring it up to the middle of the floor. Throw it over to Paper on the near side. Back over to Wacho. Wacho looked like she was going to shoot it. She pulled it down. Passes it to Paper. Paper, one dribble. Back to Wacho. Wacho, no good. Rebound, Faye. And they're going to get Hadley Huber with a foul there. They're going to say she pushed, I believe. That will be her first. And the first. No, they didn't. They actually called that one on Faye. That's her first, and it'll be, and it's going to be Shanley basketball. Ball's going to go into Payne. Payne is going to dribble around, give it to Manuel. Manuel over to Busick. Busick's going to dribble in the right. Shot for two. No good. Rebound, Faye. Faye's going to throw it over to Wacho. Wacho is going to push it up the middle. Ball up ahead to Paper. Paper is going to get fouled by Manuel, I believe. And they'll say it's on the ground. That's Manuel's second now. Watch it inbound. She gives it into Paper. Paper, she's going to get her own rebound somehow, but Manuel will come up with it after that. Huber's going to bring the ball up. And give it into Chrisman. Chrisman powers her way in. falls off the rim, though, and Chrisman will go to the line to shoot 2. Excuse me, I believe they actually called a charge there on Chrisman. Yes, they called a charge there. Okay. That's her 3rd personal now. As Watch is going to bring the ball up the floor. She's going to throw in a Paper. Paper's going to drive in. A lot of contact, no call, but Payne's going to end up with the ball on the steal. Payne throws it ahead. Watch is going to get the steal now and bring the ball up the near side. Watch it's going to go out. I'm going to say it went out last touch by, I believe, Lydia Mattern. And it will be Davies basketball underneath the Shanley basket. Paper is going to dribble it out back into Watcha. Watcha is going to throw it into Wild. The ball is going to be blocked by Huber. Huber's going to throw it ahead to Mattern. Mattern's going to drive in and throw it out to Huber. Huber's going to drive in now. Real nice move there. She makes the scoop layup and pushes the lead out to 14.
You can really see that after the half. Both teams have really started to kind of cool off a little bit and just play a little more relaxed. Neither team seemed really rushed or in a hurry to do much.
Yeah, that's true. And one reason for that, too, might be they're not pressing anymore, so there's not as much of a hurry to the teams. And there's just a lot less press in both of them, though, like you said. Watch is going to inbound to Wild. Wild over to Koenig. Koenig, a deep 3. Shot no good. And Mattern's going to get the rebound. And she's going to throw it over to Busick. Busick is going to dribble it up and over to Mattern. Mattern's going to throw it over to Payne. Payne for 2, no good. Watch is going to throw it up ahead to Koenig. Koenig's going to go charging in and make the layup and cut the lead down to 12 now. Huber's going to bring the ball up the middle for the Deacons. She's going to get a screen from Manuel. She's going to drive in. Shot going to be no good there, and the rebound's going to go to Paper. Paper's going to hand it up to Watcha. Watcha is going to give it up to Paper. Paper's going to try and go baseline. She's going to get double teamed there. She's going to spin out of that. Got a really nice shot off. Didn't go in, and it was rebounded by Mattern. And Payne will bring the ball up to the Deacons. Timeout Deacons there, I believe. Sandy, what do you think both teams are going to be talking about in this timeout now?
Well, I think Shanley kind of started to feel a little bit of pressure towards the end of that, but when they brought the ball back up, a few of them kind of seemed to be a little confused almost, so I think they kind of called a timeout just to regather their thoughts, and Davies just kind of saying that they're doing a good job this half of staying calm, not being overly aggressive while still being about the right amount of aggressive, making good plays.
Yeah, I think that both teams are doing that. I mean, the margin hasn't really changed, so I mean, that shows you the teams are playing even right now. But you just kind of wonder what either team needs to do to really just push this game ahead, especially if you're Davies and cut into this lead a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely have to go on a 1 or 2 runs here pretty soon if they want to kind of cut the lead down a bit.
So Mark from Thailand is watching the game in Bangkok. Thanks for watching, Mark. Mark, just a shout out there. But yeah, so both teams really are going to try and make a little push right now. And if you're Davies, the one thing you've done well so far, you haven't fouled.
Yeah.
You haven't let this game get into even worse shape by tacking on the fouls. So that's something you've done well. But now you need to cut into this lead.
Yep.
It will be Shanley ball underneath now with 24 seconds left on the shot clock. Payne is going to inbound. She's going to throw it into Mattern. Mattern is going to drive. She's going to give it out to Manuel. Manuel is going to give it over to Huber on the far side. Huber is going to give it over to Mattern. Mattern's going to drive in. Shot. No good. She gets the rebound. It's good. Watch is going to bring the ball up. She's going to somehow get that out to Koenig. Ball is going to get punched away, and Busick's going to come up with the ball. Busick's got a 2-on-1. Nice move, and now the Deacons have spread the lead out to 16. Watch it, brings the ball up the near side. And pressured by Busick. Now she's gonna get trapped. She's gonna get it out over to Koenig. Koenig's gonna go in, and they call a traveling, and that'll give the ball back to the Deacons now with 11:21 left to play in the game. Huber is gonna bring the ball up. She's gonna throw it into the corner for Busick. Busick's gonna give it up to Payne on the wing. Ball's gonna go over to Mattern. Mattern gives it up to Manuel. Manuel's gonna drive in, slips through there, but Paper's gonna end up with the rebound up from this basket. Paper pushing the ball up in transition. She's gonna go by Mattern, but the shot's gonna be no good. Mattern got the rebound, but then Paper is gonna force a jump ball there. Heinrich is gonna check in along with Shook.
For the Eagles, number 23, Julia Scott.
Busick will bring the ball up for the Deacons. Back over to Huber. It's going to get thrown to Mattern. Mattern was wide open underneath. Really nice vision by Huber, and the Deacons are able to once again add to their lead. Watch is going to bring it up. She goes over in the corner. Over to Shook. Shook for three. In and out. Busick's going to get the rebound and try and push the ball up the floor. Over to Huber. Huber is going to jab step. Dribble up to the top of the key, now drive in. Huber's going to dribble over to the near side. Give it up to Payne in the post. Payne guarded by Koenig is going to throw it out. And Heinrich is going to come up with that ball. Ball into Mattern. Mattern just beat the shot clock. Really nice pass, and she gets the nice layup. Really nice offensive possession. If you're Shanley, that's everything you want right now because you're killing clock along with putting a couple of points on the board. That's everything you're looking for. Paper's going to get the ball in the post. She's going to go up. They're going to call a foul on Huber. And Paper will now go to the line to shoot two.
Fouls on number 3, Emily Huber. Second personal, fourth team foul. Alyssa Paper at the free throw line.
Paper makes the first. And the second. Huber's going to give it up to Busick. Busick's going to dribble across the half-court line. Huber's going to throw it into Payne. Payne wide open for two. Pushes the lead back up to 20.
Shanley's doing a great job in these last couple minutes of getting almost nearly wide open in the paint right under the basket, so allowing for an easy pass to get in there and easy 2 points.
Paper is going to cut the lead to 18 with a really nice move, and she's going to get a layup there. Payne will bring the ball up for the Deacons on the far side. She'll throw it into net. Heinrich. Heinrich for two. I mean, it's almost getting too easy right now. These are just one easy layup after another as Coach Jacobson of Davies is going to call a timeout now. What are both teams talking about, especially Davies right now?
I think they're saying they got to be a little more aggressive in the paint. They seem to be playing a little bit more of a zone defense, but at the same time, they can't just allow someone to get wide open right under the basket in the paint, allowing for just an easy 2 points to get on the board.
Stay tuned after this game for an interview with head coach Andrew Burns of the Shanley boys team. Yeah, sorry. All right, so now we're getting back to the game. If you're Davies, I don't know what you can do right now. I don't know if you switch back to man or what you do. The zone is causing you more problems than Shanley.
Yeah.
And I don't know the best answer, but you got to find a way to get the ball in the basket and let the rest take care of itself right now. Watch is going to dribble in. Ball's going to get tipped away, and they're going to say it went out on Shanley. It will be Davies' ball with 8:54 left in the ball game. Shook is going to inbound. She gives it to Paper. Paper, shot for 2. She is having a really nice game there in the paint. Huber's going to dribble it up. Throws it over to Payne. Payne's going to dribble it up the far side. Payne's going to dribble in. She's going to, I thought she was passing there. She gets a shot off after that. And Shook's going to come up with the rebound. Shook over to Watcha. Watcha's going to dribble in. Shot for 2. It's good. And the lead is suddenly now cut down to 16. Payne's going to get the ball and dribble it up on the wing. Matter's going to call for it. It goes over to Huber, though. Heinrich's going to get the ball. She's going to turn around. Out to Mattern. Mattern's going to give it up to Busick. Busick dribbles along the right side. Gives it up to Mattern. Mattern, a deep 3. Rims out. And Watch is going to push the ball up the middle of the floor. Watcha, they're going to call a foul, and Watcha will go to the line now. Oh, to shoot 2. That's already the Deacons' 5th personal. Remember that in a few minutes. It's as the fouls start to add up, especially if this game gets closer, because, I mean, Shanley's 2 fouls away from the bonus now.
Riley Watcha at the free throw line. Checking in for the Deacons, number 40, Kelly Christman.
That was Mattern's first personal. So Watcha makes both and has now cut the lead in a minute by 4 points. So they've gone on a little run to get themselves back in the game now. Busick's going to get that one, which falls down, gets back up though. She dribbles along the right side. Huber is calling for the ball, can't see her. Ball goes into Payne in the post, guarded by Koenig. Koenig's ball's going to get thrown out to Huber. Huber gives it to Chrisman. There's like 8 seconds left on the shot clock. There's going to be a foul there on Davies. Faye's second. And that's the second team foul of the half. Ball's over to Busick. Busick up to Huber. Huber's going to dribble in. She's going to give it back to Busick. Busick's going to dribble in now. Throw it out to Heinrich. Heinrich gives it up to Payne in the corner. Payne trying to go baseline. It's going to go off her foot, and it'll be Eagle basketball now. Now as Davies will get a chance to try and cut this lead down to 12. Watch is going to dribble over to the far side. She throws it into Koenig. Ball up to Safransky. Safransky for 3. And the score is down to 11. Heinrich over to Busick. Busick's going to dribble and shot for 2. It's good.
Shanley really needed that one after going on a little bit of a cold streak, and as Davies kind of started to get on a little bit of a run there.
Yeah, that was really nice for them. They needed that bad, and now maybe they can start to build on that a little bit. Huber's going to bring the ball up. Going to get a screen from Payne. Huber's shot is blocked, but they're going to say a foul, I believe.
Also number 15, Taylor Faye, 3rd personal, 13th foul. Hadley Huber shooting 2.
Faye's 3rd now, and she's starting to get into a little bit of foul trouble here. Here she's racked those up in short order. And Payne will now push the game back out to 14. Mattern will check in now for the Deacons. Huber will miss the second. Rebound Paper. Francis going to push it up ahead to Watcha. Watcha into Faye. Faye shot no good. Rebound Chrisman. Chrisman out ahead to Payne. Payne's going to bring the ball up the near side. Right into Huber. Huber's going to throw it out to Busick. Busick for 3. It's good. And the game is now out to 17 again. With 6 minutes left on the clock. Watcha's going to throw it over to Koenig. Koenig back into Watcha. Watcha's going to try and dribble in. And it's going to be picked up by Payne. Payne's going to give it up to Huber. Huber's going to bring it up the near side. She gives it into Chrisman just inside the arc. Over to Mattern. Mattern dribbles into the middle. Out to Huber. Huber over to Busick. Busick for 3. Rims out, and they're going to call Chrisman with an over the back, I believe. That's her 4th personal, and the Deacons' 6th personal. See if we get a substitution with Chrisman, as that is her 4th, but I don't see anybody going in right now. As Watcha brings the ball up the floor for the Eagles. Over to, it's going to be stolen by Huber. Huber's got a one-on-one, and it's going to be good. Just like that, the lead is back up to 19. So Francie's going to bring the ball up for the Eagles. Over to Paper. Safransky for 3. It's good. And she's made her last 2 now, as the lead is now back down to 16. Huber's, the ball ends up in Busick's hands. That pass was intended to Payne. She wasn't looking. Over to Mattern, over to Busick. Busick over to Huber. Huber takes a dribble, loses it, but gets it back. Ball's gonna be stolen by Paper. Paper in a 2-on-1, one with Busick and Safransky. Safransky loses the ball for a second, but kicks it out to Koenig. Koenig for 3. No good. Rebound Payne. Payne is gonna push the ball up the far side, up ahead to Mattern. Mattern, no good, but she got fouled. And Mattern will now go to the line to shoot 2.
Ball's on number 33, that's her 3rd personal, 4th team foul. Lydia Mattern shooting 2.
Koenig's 3rd now. As Mattern misses the 1st.
Checking in for the Eagles, number 20, Taylor Crossley. In for the Deacons, number 14, Olivia Manuel.
This is the second. Paper gets the rebound. Paper gets immediately double teamed. Throws it ahead to Wild. Wild pushes the ball up. She's got a 3-on-1 if she can get the ball in. Koenig gets it and throws it ahead to Frostley. Frostley got fouled. By Busick. That's her 2nd now. And Davies is in the bonus for the remainder of the game now. Frostley misses the 1st.
Taylor Crossley at the free throw line.
And the 2nd. Rebound Paper, though. Paper throws into Koenig. Koenig gets trapped. She double dribble, or they're going to call it traveling there, and it will be Eagles basketball, or excuse me, Shanley basketball. Busick inbound to Payne. Payne's going to dribble up. Going to get a screen from Busick. And it's going to be a foul on Paper.
Falls on number 21, Alyssa Paper, 2nd personal.
That's her 2nd, the 5th on the 5th team foul now. Busick's going to take the ball up, give it to Mattern. Mattern gives it back to Busick. Busick dribbles down to the right, gives it over to Mattern. Mattern up to Manuel. Manuel's going to dribble inside, back out to Busick, over to Payne. Payne's going to dribble in now. Shot for 2, it's good. Safransky is going to bring the ball up to the Eagles. Over to Koenig. Koenig's going to throw it all the way back across the Paper. Paper is going to dribble down toward the corner and throw it over to Koenig. Koenig's going to go in. No shot. They're going to say on the ground. So she'll be shooting a 1-and-1 now, I believe. Yes.
Team foul, shooting a bonus.
That was on Huber. She's now got 3. Rebound by Huber after the miss on the front end. Huber's going to bring the ball up. Throw it into Payne. Payne shot no good. She's going to get her own rebound and put it up for 2 as the lead is pushed back out to 20. So Francie's going to bring the ball up. She's going to get over to Paper. Paper's going to dribble in. Shot for 2. No good. And it's going to be out there. I'm going to say it was out on Payne. And it'll stay Eagles ball with 2:45 left in the game. Safransky throws it into Koenig. Koenig is going to dribble over to Safransky. He on the wing. Safransky's going to go over to the right, throw it. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Deacon basketball.
That'll be Heinrich for the Deacons.
Heinrich checking in for the Deacons now. Busick calling for the ball. She'll get it. Now she'll throw it ahead to Huber. Huber is going to take the ball up the near side. Now along the middle. You get a screen from Busick. Busick calling for the ball. Not going to get it. Over to Payne on the far side. Right. Heinrich's going to take the ball up to the wing. Give it over to Huber. Huber is going to drive. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Into Payne. Payne throws out to Heinrich. Heinrich for 2. It's good.
Heinrich.
2 minutes left in the game as Safransky brings the ball up the floor. Over to Frostley. Frostley with a deep 3. No good. And Payne will inbound for the Deacons. Emily Shorman now checking in for the Deacons. Payne inbound. Payne inbounds. Now it's Huber. Huber's going to bring the ball up. Going to get a screen by Busick. Huber throws it into Shorma. Shorma dribbles in. Shot no good. She gets her own board. Or she's going to throw it over to Huber. Huber on the far wing. Throws it in Busick. Busick all by herself underneath. She makes it and pushes the lead ahead to 24 now. Safransky brings the ball up. She gets it back. Faye dribbles in. Shot no good. But she was fouled and she will go to the line. Going to shoot though 1-1.
That's our 4th.
Huber recorded her 4th, although it's not too big of a concern with only 1:11 left.
Taylor Faye at the free throw line.
She misses the first. It's 2 actually. They said it was shooting.
Number 24, Erica Peters. Along with number 12, Ellen Donat. Number 3, Abby Balfour. Dakota Barnes into the Deacons. Both Wilson, Haley Connor, and Liz Gamber into the Deacons.
As both teams have some mass subs with about a minute left. Faye misses the second as Wilson comes up with the rebound, and it'll be a jump ball.
Ava Wild checking back into the Eagles.
It's going to stay Eagles ball underneath as Gothberg inbounds. She throws it in a Wild. Wild turns around for 2. It's good.
Basket by Wild.
Bars inbounds to Kleiman. Kleiman gives it right back. Heck, Bars dribbles along the near side into Sharma. Sharma takes one dribble and gives it up to Dabbert. Dabbert looking around, gives it over to Bars. Bars dribbles to the middle, gives it up to Sharma. Sharma takes one dribble, shot no good, but she was fouled.
Ball's on number 34, Lauren Curie, her first. Emily Schramer at the free throw line.
Sharma misses the first. Makes the second. And McAllister will now check in for Sharma.
It's always nice to see some of the younger players get a couple points up on the board late in the game.
This ball goes over to Wild. Wild passes it over. Shot goes in after Peters' attempt. Kleiman will bring the ball up for the Deacons. Goes over to Bars. Bars gives over to McAllister. McAllister over to Wilson. Wilson over to Dabbert. Dabbert back up to Kleiman. Kleiman drives. It's going to be punched out, and they're going to say a jump ball with 16 seconds left on the game. In the game, Wilson will inbound for the Deacons. She will throw it into Kleiman, and it's going to be another jump ball this time. This time it'll be Davies' Eagles ball. As Wild will inbound to Gothberg. Gothberg will bring the ball up the floor. She gives it over to Peters. Peters into Fury. Fury back out. Peters. Peters will drive in and into Fury. Fury shot is going to be no good. And that'll be the game. Well, Andy, what do you think both teams can kind of take away from this game so far? Or from this game?
If you're Shanley, I think you kind of see how the rest of the season will go. They've had a lot of success early on so far, so hopefully that'll carry on to the rest of the season. Davies, they've played pretty good so far this season, but tonight it kind of showed that, sometimes fouls will kind of get in the way of things, give the other team the bonus, give them a couple extra chances to score, and they also just kind of be a little more aggressive without being overly aggressive, if you kind of know what I mean there. Because they kind of, in the first half, they were doing a good job of being aggressive, but at the same time, it was a little overly aggressive as they had a lot of fouls up on the board, as you could see.
Yeah, both teams played really well. I mean, these teams are going to meet last game of the season at Davies, so Davies will be out for revenge, and we'll hear from them again. This is a good team. They've got some young players who will grow throughout the season. It'll be interesting when these guys meet again.
Yeah, we definitely got an interesting couple years ahead of us for this rivalry.
That's for sure. Hey, stay tuned. The boys' game will be up next.
Coach Burns, thanks for coming on. Folks, we're back here with coverage of tonight's doubleheader action as the Shanley Deacons take on the Davies Eagles. The Shanley girls just knocked off the Davies girls in an impressive victory, but in a couple minutes we're going to have the boys game. Of course, Coach Burns, you're here to talk a little bit about that, so thanks for coming on. And, let's just get right to it. You had a tough game last Friday, a close game with a longtime rival, and you got a 2-day turnaround now coming into another tough game against another big rival. What's kind of the state of the team right now, both mentally and physically, with some pretty taxing games happening close together?
Yeah, I think the physical part will be the biggest test, coming back off of a physical game on Friday and not a long time to recover. But guys are ready. They understand the opportunity, and we got a good team in front of us.
Definitely, and that is going to be a big part of it. You're playing a team that's #1 in the poll. They're undefeated, and like I said, they're a big rival of yours. How much extra motivation does that give you guys, the ability to maybe give them their first loss of the year at your home court?
Yeah, and I think the home court aspect, we like to play well at home against these guys, and we know it's going to be only that much tougher when we go out there in February.
And, they are that big #1 team, a very impressive team, obviously. But, you guys, you're 2-3 right now, but every game you played has been very competitive, I don't think there's been a single game that's fell out of reach. And it really seems like you play to the level of your competition, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think we kind of knew coming in the experience, it would be kind of on the fly and figuring some things out. We've had a lot of runs in our favor, runs not in our favor, and guys have responded well, and I think being in every game counts for a lot down the stretch. So if you can maintain that, we'll be happy. And we know in this one, if we can play well and be competitive and be in it at the end, that serves us well going forward.
All right, well, Coach, I know I'm excited to see how it turns out. I'm sure you are. We'll let you get back down there. Folks, be sure to stick around about 12 minutes, and then that game will be here on Shanley TV, so stay tuned. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota high school basketball action here on Shanley TV. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Andy Simon as we're getting set for the second game in tonight's coverage of doubleheader action here between the Shanley Deacons and the Fargo Davies Eagles. In our first game, Andy, we saw the Shanley girls pull off a very convincing victory over the Davies Eagles. It was a great win for them, but now it's time for the boys. The Shanley Deacons come in at a mark of 2-3. They're home dogs to the Davies Eagles, who are 5-0 right now. Andy, do you see this boys' game going at all similar to the girls' game, or do you think we're looking at a totally different beast here?
Well, I think it all depends on how Shanley plays. Last Friday they struggled a little bit on both sides of the ball, and they've kind of struggled for the whole kind of first part of the season. But I think if they really come tonight and bring it and play with all they got, then it'll be a good game for both teams tonight.
Yeah, and Andy, I agree with your assessment there. And one thing I've really noticed from the Shanley team is that they tend to play to the level of their opponent. It's something I talked about with Coach Burns before the game. But, you know, no matter who they're playing, whether it's Cheyenne, you know, one of the top teams in the conference, or maybe one of the lower teams, they really seem to be in very competitive games. Do you think that's going to be the case here tonight, or do you think the margin's too great between these two teams?
No, I absolutely think they're going to play great tonight. Being that Davies is one of their biggest rivals, living about a mile away, I think they'll bring the passion that they really truly have deep in their hearts, and it'll be a great game for both teams.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to see how it shapes up. Folks, for now, we are going to step away for a brief word from our sponsors, but don't go anywhere. A great night of basketball action continues after this.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
We are back, and now just minutes away from starting tonight's game between the Shanley Deacons and the Fargo Davies Eagles. We previewed it a little bit before the break, but Andy, you know, we looked at it more from a team perspective. Now let's break it down even further. Who do you see being the key individual contributors for both teams here tonight?
Well, on the Davies side, I can really see Braden Machenbacher and Jaden Claybo really leading the way for the Eagles. And on the Shanley side, I can see Talon Hoffer and maybe even the young but talented Braden Kaiser's really gotten a lot more reps this year and has shown a lot of talent.
Yeah, you know, Talon Hoffer is one of those guys who's really being asked to step into a pretty big role on this team. You know, he was a starter last season for most of the year. He played valuable minutes, but this year, you know, he's having to step into some shoes of some pretty talented guys like Jake Cava and Cam Seville, who have graduated. That leaves Shanley looking for a number one option, and that burden is really falling on Talon Hoffer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. He's really had to step up in a lot of situations to try and lead his team. And for the most part, I think he's done a pretty good job, but it's just his team around him hasn't always been there for him.
No doubt about that, Andy. But, you know, I think the one thing about this team, you know, they lost a lot of guys. Like we talked about, they lost a huge senior class, most of their starters from last year. I have been impressed with the way they played as a team. You know, it's a pretty balanced attack they've got right now. Like we said, Hoffer is having to take a larger role, but they're pretty balanced. They play with a lot of chemistry, and it's been impressive considering the turnover they've had. Looking at the other side of things, like you talked about, Jaden Claybo is kind of the name I want to focus on. We're looking at a 6'5" center, a senior, a guy who's been doing it for a very long time, starting since his freshman year, or on varsity since his freshman year, I should say. Jaden Claybo, he's been through this a couple times now. A Division I football committed to North Dakota State for football, but this guy could be playing college basketball if he wanted. I mean, we're just talking about an overall athlete who really can take control of a game when he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Obviously, with his height, big advantage in the game of basketball, but he also just brings a lot of intensity to the game. I have a lot of respect for him for the way he plays.
All right, well, this should be interesting to see how things shape up. We've given you a couple storylines to follow. There is a lot to follow in this game. We're talking about two big rivals, but now we've got the opening tip-off, and with it, we are underway. No more talk. It's about playing. Let's see what these two teams have got. So to start things off, Daniel Warner wins that tip back to Braden Bars. Bars, a returning starter from last year's squad. There aren't many on this team, but he's one of them. Mears cuts inside, then goes out to Joe Cava. Joe Cava now handing off to Braden Bars, and now it's Talon Hoffer with it out top. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hoffer pulls up for two and drains it. Nice pull-up jumper there by the junior. It's the Eagles' turn now, looking to respond. With it is Brayton Machenbacher. Quick passing inside, able to find Van Dam for a brief period, and now Van Dam goes up for two, and it's an immediate response by the Eagles. Fast scoring so far for both teams. Barr's going to bring it across half court, trying to find a seam in the defense. It was closed up nicely by Machenbacher. Pass goes inside to Cava, now back out to Bars. Gets some space, wheeling around, launches an awkward shot for two, won't go. Van Dam with the rebound. Van Dam now takes it. It's tipped. Mears got a hand on it, and now Mears will take it away. A nice defensive stand for Shanley as Bars threads the needle to Hoffer, who couldn't hang on to it. He just kind of ran out of space. It was the right idea from Bars, but the pass just maybe a little bit too far in front. So here's the inbound for the Eagles. Hage now goes down court to Van Dam. Van Dam moving along the near side, goes to Clabo. Clabo with Bars in front of him. In the corner to Machenbacher and to Thome. Thome for three, no good off the rim. Hage rebound, putback attempt, no good. Daniel Warner is there to take it away. Mears will bring it across half court now for Shanley. Joe Cava out top. Goes inside, then kicks it back out to Mears. At the top of the key, it's Bars. Bars cutting in. Strong defense from Machenbacher, and a travel will turn the ball over. So two quick scores for these two teams, Andy, and then a lot of back and forth play now, giving the ball up to each other.
Yeah, we might have a little bit of a dogfight on our hands tonight.
That is the indication in the early goings, but we have just barely scratched the surface on this game as Machenbacher takes a deep three and drains it. Brayton Machenbacher from way downtown makes it look easy. Bars now has it for Shanley, trying to respond. A little miscommunication there as he does give off to Hoffer now. Hoffer with Thome right there, makes a nice move, but a miscommunication. That ball was supposed to go to Cava, but it wound up in the arms of Hage. Hage looking for two, does not get it. Excellent hustle there by the Deacons to get back there on defense. And that ball is going to be last touched by the Eagles, it looks like. So a really nice defensive play there by Shanley, avoiding potentially disastrous play. The press is on as Bars is able to escape and get it over to Mears, who will go right back to Bars. The senior point guard now goes over to Mears on the far side, out top to Cava, and now to Hoffer. Davies not giving him much inside. Daniel Warner trying to change that, but he's blocked by Clabo, and we're headed back the other direction. Machenbacher, nice little pass over in the corner. It's Thome. Thome back to Clabo. Clabo has Machenbacher open across the court. Not sure where he wants to go with it. Now he does go to Machenbacher. A very deep three. Yes, sir! Brayton Machenbacher. He can pull up from anywhere. Absolutely incredible range from the senior. Bars now trying to respond. Nice moves to cut through the defense. Couldn't get the finish, though, and Clabo gets the board. 8-2 our score in favor of the Eagles now. Feed inside to Van Dam. That ball through the legs of Hage. Mears and Bars rush in there to try and take it away. They're able to force the error, but it's picked up by Thome. Clabo in the corner to Machenbacher. Does he have another one in him? In and out, and Warner gets the rebound. Some hectic play there as things shifted pretty far in favor of the Eagles for a minute there. But now Shanley trying to get the points back, and it's Daniel Warner with the two. Bringing it down court is Hage. He goes over to Machenbacher, going right back to Hage. Hage with the bounce pass into Van Dam, who goes to Machenbacher, open for three. Off the front of the rim. Bars got in there to contest it at the last second. There's a dime from Machenbacher inside to Hage. He's tied up, though, and the double dribble will turn it over. Strong defense that time by Joe Cava.
30-second timeout taken by the Eagles.
Ty Satter will check in for Davies as they call a 30-second timeout now. And Andy, your thoughts so far on this game?
Well, I think some of the Davies seniors, especially Machenbacher, have really come out and strut their stuff. Very strong start for them, both offensively and defensively. Both teams have been doing a great job being very locked down on defense, but Davies' offense, they've just been coming out super strong, throwing up everything they can, making most of them, and putting up a really good dent in Shanley's defense right now.
I couldn't agree more, Andy. And since we have a little break here, I want to take some time to give a shout-out to Buzz and Kay Marvin who are tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. And folks, if you're watching, get in contact with us on social media, and we'll try to give you a shout-out on air. And Andy, yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you said there, especially Brayton Machenbacher. The confidence he has pulling up from really anywhere on the court is staggering. So here is Cava now with a little bit of room into Warner. Warner makes it look easy. When you're 6'8", Andy, you can really just kind of reach up there and drop it in. Daniel Warner knows that, and he makes Davies pay. So here is Claybo with it, as we've got a 2-point game. Eagles trying to rebuild some of that lead. Machenbacher goes to Thome. Thome on the near wing, cuts inside, then kicks it out, intended for Satter, but a miscommunication, and that ball's out of bounds. 13:32 left in this first half, as Mears will take it now for the Deacons. Here goes Owen Mears with Brayton Machenbacher right across from him. Mears going to pull up for three, trying to answer the three-point shooting of Davies, but to no avail. Van Dam with the feed down court to Machenbacher. He wanted the three. Now he cuts inside, and that looked ugly. Got tangled with the legs of Mears, and they'll get Mears for the foul. Machenbacher's up and moving now, but that did not look fun, Andy.
No, it did not.
Hopefully nothing more than just a couple bumps and bruises. Unfortunately, just an inadvertent tangling of the legs there, and that is the first foul of the evening. Assessed to Owen Mears. That ball was intended for Roos, but it was picked off by Talon Hoffer. And now here goes Hoffer, kicking it over to DeKaiser. DeKaiser spins around, looking for two. Second attempt, that won't go. Warner trying to rip it away, but he could not. Claybo now going to Hage. Hoffer trying to make another pick. That time it doesn't work for him. Claybo faked inside, goes back out, kicks it to Satter, who gets the three. And it's been the three-point shooting of the Eagles that's been the difference. Talon Hoffer now will take it up court. Being guarded by Jaden Roos. Hoffer into Cava. Cava for two, no good. Off the bottom of the backboard it looked. Hage grabbed it. Now he's trying to get that one up to Machenbacher, but Hoffer jumped the pass and knocked it out of bounds. And boy, Talon Hoffer flying around defensively right now.
Yeah, it really looks like a defensive back there out on the court, jumping up for every ball that's come to him.
An all-state D-back in football, Andy, so your assessment is not too far off as Satter swishes another three. That makes it 14-6 now in favor of the Eagles. The sophomore Braden DeKaiser taking it up court for Shanley. Eagles have it locked down right now as Hoffer has it on the near wing. He's going to pull up for three. High arcing ball is in for Talon Hoffer. That makes it a 5-point game. Satter to Machenbacher. Machenbacher, no looker to Claybo along the baseline. Claybo with a fancy pass to Hage. And a whistle and a foul. They can't complete the play, but they do draw the foul. And how about the nifty passing there, Andy?
Yeah, the Eagles seem to be doing a great job of moving the ball around tonight and opening up opportunities for different types of scoring plays.
So, free throw attempt from Hage. First of the evening is good.
Bar's checking back in for the Deacons.
Bar's going to come back in for Shanley as Warner goes out. A little bit more of a small ball lineup they're sporting right now. Second free throw attempt in and out, and DeKaiser grabs the rebound. So Hage 1 for 2 at the line on that trip, as Bars now has it in the Davies zone, gets it to Cava, but we have a whistle. And I'm not sure what that's for, Andy.
May have been a... Oh, never mind. Good I said anything.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what that's going to be for, as it'll stay with Shanley. It looked like there may have been an error with some substitutions I'm not sure if Van Dam was supposed to check in and the referees didn't see him or what the deal was.
I'm not quite sure what happened on that one.
Nonetheless, Van Dam will come in for Claybo. As we still have a bit of a delay. All right, and it looks like we have things sorted out. So here is Townhofer to inbound as he goes to Braden Bars with 22 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time for the Deacons to work with here as Mears goes to Hoffer. Hoffer cutting inside, 3 Eagles in front of him, and Joe Cava makes a smart play there, not reaching for that ball. So it'll be last touch now by Davies. Hoffer to inbound once again. He goes straight to Bars. Bars had a look for 3. Closed pretty quick, though, so he's not going to take it. Now here's Joe Cava looking for the 3 ball. That's no good. Cava, not much of a shooter, but he's keeping Davies honest with that one, and that's a good strategy as Hage goes up for 2, just elevating over to Kaiser that time. Another whistle now, and a stop in play, as I wonder if the clock did not move on that one, Andy. It looks like the referee pointed towards the scoreboard. And I'm really not sure. I think we're having some scoreboard issues is my best guess, because I've seen them look that way a couple times, and they're talking to the scoreboard operator right now, and that's kind of where they were on the last stoppage. So that's my guess. All right, so we're ready to play again, as it's a 17-19 lead for the Eagles after a quick 2 points from Hage there. Bars will take it up the near side. Tight D being played by Machenbacher, gets the screen, moves in, and then kicks it out to Mears for 3 off the rim, no good. Cava gonna save it, just trying to fling it back into play, and it's taken away by Roos. That ball up to Van Dam. Van Dam makes a move in midair. Excellent adjustment that time by Cameron Van Dam. 19-9 now, it's double-digit points that separate these two teams as Cava's pass is intercepted by Machenbacher. Machenbacher working his way past Mears. Excellent defense by Mears, but a better finish from Brayton Machenbacher. With that, we're going to have a whistle and a timeout by Shanley. And Andy, I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Davies' offense and defense, they just seem to be doing everything right, and Shanley just kind of had to take a second to readjust and kind of talk things over. Because, I mean, Braden Machenbacher, he's been having a heck of a game, hitting 3s from way downtown, playing great defense, charging in the paint, going up for easy layups. I mean, he seems almost unstoppable so far tonight.
Yeah, Andy, I'd agree with that. And I do think it's the right time to take the timeout if you're Coach Burns. This has definitely been their best run of the game so far. And I don't know what the answer really is for Shanley right now. They're getting outplayed at it's going to sound bad, but they're getting outplayed in most aspects of the game right now, but I want to stress that they're not being outplayed by that much, it doesn't seem, you know?
Yeah, they have been keeping with them a little bit, but now is definitely not the time you want to let Davies go on a bit of a run and take a really far lead.
Exactly, and I think this timeout might just be what they need to kind of settle things back down and close up the margin, because the separation doesn't feel like too much. However, on the scoreboard, it's starting to get to be a bit much. Excellent turnaround shot there from Owen Mears. That was pretty, and that's the kind of points you want to score fresh out of a timeout. Here's Machenbacher moving down court. He goes to Satter inside to Van Dam to Hage. Hage with a move underneath, couldn't get the finish. But Andy, that has really been the difference. The passing of Davies has just been absolutely stellar. Very tough to play defense against passing that crisp. Cava just grinding for position underneath the hoop, and he gets it. That's what Joe Cava brings to the table. He's not the tallest guy to be playing the post, but he is so strong he can just drive you out of position and go up and get points like that. Van Dam out to Machenbacher looking for another 3. Count it! Brayton Machenbacher continues an excellent night shooting. DeKaiser with Satter right there on him. He'll go over to Mears. Mears on the far wing, looks inside. Now to Cava. Cava with Van Dam in front of him, trying to keep it low. He goes over to Mears. Mears gets the screen. Was trying to maybe pull up, trying to maybe pass. It didn't work, though, and now here's Van Dam flipping it up for 2 that time, and Mears, He knew what he was doing. He was just running back there, kind of swatting at the ball, swatting at his hands, just trying to do anything to stop it.
Second personal foul. 13 fouls. Substitution, second in for the Deacons, number 4. Andy Clark, number 24, Daniel Warner.
Andy Clark going to come in now for Shanley, along with Daniel Warner, as now Claybo comes back out for Davies. So here's Machenbacher inbounding. He finds Van Dam at the top of the key. Van Dam to Machenbacher. One-hand pass over to Hage. Back to Machenbacher. He'll take the 3 ball, and he gets it. Andy, it just does not feel like he's capable of missing right now.
Yeah, he's having a great night outside of the arc so far.
DeKaiser at the free throw line, tried to pull up, and he was fouled. So he'll go right back to the free throw line to shoot 2. It's a nice break for the Deacons there. And Andy, you'll notice Daniel Warner is back in when Jaden Claybo is in. No doubt Shanley trying to make up for maybe a lack of height. They're not the tallest team this year. Usually they're a pretty tall team across the board. Not really the case tonight, or not really the case this season, I should say. But Daniel Warner is the outlier. Extremely tall player in that 6'7", 6'8" range. And so they're going to be using him against Jaden Claybo, who's about 6'6", to try and counteract that advantage in the paint.
Yeah, he could be very valuable tonight down in the paint, especially with the height on Davies, as you mentioned. But yeah, I think he could really be a big part of this turnaround if Shanley does muster up the courage to start one.
So here's Machenbacher out to Hage in the corner to Satter. Satter for 3, trying to get in on the fun. That one doesn't go, but Hage gets the rebound. Hage out top to Claybo, fakes his way inside and gets fouled by Warner.
Fouls on number 44, Daniel Warner, first personal, 14 foul.
And that's really what Jaden Claybo has. There are tall guys in high school basketball. That's always the case. You've got guys who are his size, but guys who are his size can move like he can and can shoot like he can. That's a really rare combination of skills. That's what makes him so effective and so difficult to guard.
Yeah, too often you'll see a player with great height, but they just aren't very coordinated, kind of lanky, but he really seems to have the total package so far.
And Daniel Warner, there's a tall player who uses his skills well. Definitely one of the more coordinated guys at that height, and you just saw Claybo muscle through there. But here's Talon Hoffer with the long 2, they'll say. So Hoffer with a response. Shanley still trailing by 12, but that's the way to get back in. Machenbacher lost it momentarily. Now he's going to pull up, go over to Claybo. Claybo looks to Hage, and now will direct traffic. Well, spin move, kicks it out to Satter. Beauty of a pass. Ball from Satter's off the rim, but Hage gets the board. Ball goes through the arms of Van Dam, and now Machenbacher settles it down before feeding inside to Hage, who sends Bars down to the court and scores. Bars bringing it right back himself. Great pass to Warner. Was staring at the basket and then played it off the floor to Daniel Warner. Had the Davies defense fooled. Hage at the top of the key. Cuts in, pulls up. 2 ball, yes. Davies going right back down and scoring. That's the thing. Even when Shanley scores, the Eagles are able to come right back down the court and match them as Hoffer pulls up with the deep 3 that's no good. Machenbacher bringing it down court. In the corner to Van Dam. Off the rim, it's no good. And then it's out of bounds as it hit the upper portion of the net there. Well, the hoop, really. And you'll see Bars takes a seat now. He looks gassed at the moment, and that's not surprising. He's been having to cover Brayton Machenbacher, who just does not run out of energy. Hoffer over to DeKaiser. DeKaiser able to get past Van Dam. Van Dam with the good recovery, though, and it looked like DeKaiser was fouled on the shot. That is the call. DeKaiser doing a good job drawing fouls at the moment.
Van Dam, second personal, second team foul. Brayton DeKaiser at the free throw line.
So here's DeKaiser back at the line. And he gets the first.
Checking in, number 2, Roos.
Roos going to come back in for Davies. Also in is Justice Noel, the junior forward. DeKaiser's second attempt is good. So he makes it a 2-for-2 trip to the line. And Shanley is going to have to take advantage of those opportunities as they're not going to get a ton tonight. Davies doesn't find themselves in foul trouble too often as Noel had trouble getting a hold of that one, but he does at the end and puts it in for 2 to make it 35-21. Here is Talon Hoffer now. Hoffer gets the screen, hesitates, goes in for 2. Talon Hoffer, how about that? That did not look easy, but Hoffer was able to pull it off against some very stiff defense. Claybo looks inside. Now he's going to bring it himself right into the hoop. And it looks like he was fouled by Daniel Warner on the way in.
Also number 44, Daniel Warner, second personal, 15 foul.
And that's the second time we've seen Warner get called for a foul just trying to stop the freight train that is Jaden Claybo. And that's what we talked about, Andy. It's just very hard to stop a guy that big with that much speed and strength.
Yeah, Davies definitely has a lot of grown men, I'd say, on this team who really just can go in there and just power through everyone in sight.
Yeah, absolutely. They play a very physical brand of basketball when they need to, but they can also, be that crisp passing kind of high-flying offense that we've seen. That's what makes them so versatile. Shanley going to take a timeout here, so folks, we'll take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. So the Deacons take another 30-second timeout there. They find themselves down 13. 5:56 left to go in the first as DeKaiser trying to inbound to Hoffer, immediately jumped by Roos. Roos telling DeKaiser he's going to have to get a little more creative than that. So DeKaiser trying again now, goes into Mears. Davies going to back off, and Mears will have some space to take it across half court. Mears at the top of the key, pulls up, goes over to Clark. Clark hesitates, tried to cut inside, nothing there. Now Hoffer into Cava, back to Hoffer, working along the baseline, shut down by Roos. Great feed out to Clark, though. Clark with some footwork into Cava. Cava is blocked by Claybo. Good defense there from Claybo. Second block I've seen from him so far. Not an official stat, though. I haven't been keeping him, but Claybo, he's been making his mark as he goes up for another 2 there. And that time he was just unguarded, found his way into a hole in the defense, and just too easy. Hoffer with it, and the pressure is on him. The Eagles double teaming him there for a minute. Now they'll leave Roos on him. Mears along the wing to DeKaiser. Back out to Mears. Mears takes it himself, spins around, trying that spin around shot that works again. Kind of a funky shot there, but Owen Mears now 2 for 2 on the spinorama. Machenbacher into Claybo. Claybo gets it to Noel, to Roos in the corner, and Jaden Roos gets the 3-pointer. 41-25 now. That shot opening things up even more for the Eagles as Mears goes to Hoffer in the corner. Hoffer looks inside, fakes, trying to answer with a 3 of his own, and he gets it. Talon Hoffer willing his team to stay in this one as they're now down 13 again. Machenbacher tried to go inside. Mears tipped the pass, though, and it was last touch by an Eagle, they'll say. And I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, now they changed the call. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure what they saw there. That looked like a pretty clear, but they get the right call there.
Crowd response may have helped out with that one a little bit as well.
I think everyone was a little surprised, but yeah, no, it's always good when you see a referee willing to just be like, yeah, that's my bad, let's switch it up. It's a hard job. It's even harder to admit when you're wrong, so that's good to see. Quick feed inside to Machenbacher, trying to go to Claybo that time. Claybo lost it for a second. The Deacons swarm to it, but he comes away with it and goes up for 2. Shanley riding that line, getting as physical as they can on Jaden Claybo. You know, they're really on the edge of what's a foul or not because they know that's how they got to defend him, and still he's able to get the points. Andy Clark now on the far wing. Goes over to DeKaiser. DeKaiser in the paint. He tried to go up there, but there was nothing, so he goes outside to Mears. Under 10 on the shot clock. Mears to DeKaiser in the corner. Got to get some urgency here if you're the Deacons. DeKaiser all the way in for the 2. That's great work by Braden DeKaiser. Not fazed at all by the dwindling shot clock. Makes a really nice play. Machenbacher spins around trying to get past Mears. Mears does a good job sticking with him, but here's Claybo inside for 2. Yes, sir. Nate Hensel. DeKaiser now goes to Hoffer. Thome will put the press on him. Hoffer bringing it down the near side with Thome right there at the top of the key, looking. The double team was on him. He had to go to DeKaiser. DeKaiser for the long 3 does not fall. And it's a 15-point game with under 3 minutes left in the first. Machenbacher out to Hage in the corner to Claybo. Claybo now looking for Hensel, but it was broken up by DeKaiser. Braden DeKaiser battling for it. And a jump ball is called, so it will stay with the Eagles. Good job there by DeKaiser to disrupt the offense of the Eagles. As now Thome inbounds to Claybo. They've got Cava on Claybo right now, and that's kind of the matchup I was looking for, as that ball is tipped out of bounds by Mears. I think Cava is a good answer to Claybo, Andy, because even though he gives up several inches of height, he's got the strength to, Joe Cava's just not a guy you can really move.
Yeah, Joe Cava is definitely a very aggressive player, especially down low in the paint. I mean, he doesn't let much get past him.
And and Cava, a very agile player for a guy his size as well. Really matches Claybo in everything but height, and I think you have to use that to your advantage, as there's a nice block for the Deacons. Maybe some momentum here as DeKaiser is found open on the long-range pass. Shot does not fall, though. And Hensel does a good job tipping the ball away. Machenbacher trying the spinorama. Mears broke it up, and now he's just going to hang on to it on the ground. Great work there by Owen Mears. Tenacious defense, and the crowd is loving it. So jump ball alternating possession. It will be Shanley basketball. 2:13 on the clock, 15 points separates these two teams. Hoffer with Thome across from him. Tries left, nothing there. He'll just carry it straight forward. Gets the screen partially, able to squirt that ball out to Warner. Warner fighting for it. It's loose on the ground. Mears trying to fall on it again. And now a whistle and a kicked ball. Who will they say it's on? I think they'll get DeKaiser. Maybe not. Looks like this ball might stay in Davies territory. Yeah, it looks like they'll say an Eagle kicked it. Although now we're going to have a little conference with the referees here. I think that might have been another issue with the scoreboard, as you saw him talking to the operator there. But it's sorted out very quickly, as now Hoffer inbounds to DeKaiser. So it was the Eagles who they caught with the kick ball. DeKaiser not seeing a lot with 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Hoffer has it on the far wing, pulls up for a tough 2-ball that's not going to fall. Hage gets the board. Minute 43 left now in the first half. Hage goes over to Machenbacher. Machenbacher looks inside. Eagles taking it slow here, content to run a little clock. Hage working his way past Hoffer, could not get the shot to go. Nice defense from the junior. Hage, though, gets the rebound, and now it's kicked out to Machenbacher at the top of the key. Deep 3.
Boom goes the dynamite once again.
I mean, are you surprised? I honestly feel like the deeper he pulls up, the more likely it is to go in. He's just so good from long range. Hoffer working against Claybo and Thome that time. No chance. They had him locked down. And that ball is given right back to the Eagles, now an 18-point lead. 1 minute to go now in the first half as Machenbacher has it on the far wing. Inside to Hage, DeKaiser right on top of him. Hage now driving along, and he lost the ball out of bounds.
Checking in for the Deacons, number 12, Braden Barrs.
Braden Barrs going to come back in for the last 50 seconds here, as Ty Satter comes in as well for Davies. Cava inbounds to Barrs. Shanley not going to be able to run out the clock here. They'll leave Davies with at least 25-ish seconds. Here is Warner, now out to Mears. Inside to Warner. Back out to Mears for three. Off the rim, no good. Loose ball. Bars was going after it. He collided with Claybo, and they'll say Bars was the last man to touch it. So that leaves Davies with 27 seconds, and they can shut off the shot clock. So the Eagles will probably just be content to get the final shot of the half here, up 18. There's Roos with the inbound to Machenbacher. And 25 seconds left as Mears will stay on him. Machenbacher almost lost it there. Got to be careful. At the top of the key, over to Claybo. Claybo driving along inside the paint, kicks it out to Satter. 10 seconds left. Certainly appears like they want the last shot. Satter back out to Machenbacher, runs into Hoffer. Now back to Satter, wide open three. No good off the rim. Roos got the rebound, but not enough time to do anything with it. And so at the end of one half, it is 48-30 in favor of the Davies Eagles. And Andy, your thoughts on first half that really could not have gone better for the visiting team?
Yeah, I mean, if you're Shanley, you got to think of ways to contain the big men on Davies' side because they were just killing them when they were on defense, and that's definitely something they're going to have to look at if they want to have a chance of coming back in this game. But if they can't do that, then I can see Davies running away with this game with no issue.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They are going to have to find answers in the paint here. They got to have more than Daniel Warner. You know, we saw them using Joe Cava on Jaden Claybo. I like that, but still, they got to find some more answers. Other thing was they were looking pretty fatigued towards the end of that first half. You know, Braden Bars looked pretty tired out there. He had been guarding Machenbacher for most of that first half, and that's a tall order. So there's a few things they got to address here at the half. Hopefully, though, they can regain their energy and come out strong to start the second. You never know. A strong start to a second half can really lead to some funky things. You can see a team run away even in a big hole. So, folks, at the end of one, it's 48-30 in favor of Davies. We got a whole second half of basketball to bring to you. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with that, so stick around. A lot of basketball left to be played. Welcome back to North Dakota High School basketball action here on Shanley TV. It is the Shanley Deacons taking on the Davies Eagles at the moment. 48-30 in favor of the Eagles. And folks, before we get back to that action, we would like to remind you one more time that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. And so, folks, we are seconds away from beginning half number 2 between the Deacons and the Eagles. And Andy, it was a stellar first half for Davies, especially for Brayton Machenbacher. He went off from three-point range. Shanley, meanwhile, they hung with him at the beginning. You know, they still stuck around throughout most of that half, but they find themselves down 18 and in really quite the pickle. What do you think is the number one? I know there's a lot of things they need to do, but what do you think is the number one adjustment that needs to be made here in the second half?
I think Shanley, they really have to get a lot stronger on defense, especially in the paint. It's like they're just running onto the tracks in front of a freight train every time Davies gets the ball. It's just, they got to find a way to stop the big boys up there.
Couldn't agree with you more. Let's see if they have an answer to that here in the second. The one thing that halftime for sure did was give them a breather. They looked pretty fatigued towards the end of the first half. And that's just, you know, when you're playing a team that's so fast like it's very hard to keep up your energy like that, as here goes the Eagles right back from where they left off. Brayton Machenbacher with the quick 2. Shanley not really using a very deep bench either, only playing 7 guys right now continuously, as Mears will roll in, gets it to Warner. Warner for 2, won't go. Rebound attempt. Teeters around for a little bit and falls. Made us wait, but it does go. 50-32 now, as Hage brings this one across half court. He's going to hand off to Thome. Thome has Hoffer right across from him. Pitches it out over to Machenbacher. Machenbacher looks inside, nothing there, gets some space. Warner got a hand on it, though, and takes it away. Daniel Warner making his presence known as Bars holds up and then puts up the 2 ball, won't go, has it blocked by Van Dam. Bars did everything right, but just could not get the finish. And now here's Claybo out top. Claybo going over to Hage. Hage along the near wing to Van Dam. Van Dam looking inside. Has to go right back to Hage. In the corner, it's Thome. Back out top as the Eagles cycle, not finding a lot inside. Van Dam working against Warner. Daniel Warner holding tall and getting the rebound. Bars coming back down the court with it. Deacons have made some nice plays on defense, but now they got to capitalize offensively. Mears at the free throw line, pitches it back out to Bars. Bars looks inside, pulls up for 3, and he gets it! I tell you what, that's what they needed. The three-point shooting really not there for Shanley in the first half. You know, they had it a couple times, but they're going to need more of it to keep pace with Davies, and that's what you saw there. Daniel Warner with some very active hands there trying to poke the ball away. Van Dam, though, able to find the seam and cut inside. Shanley trying to push the pace now as Bars tried the bounce pass inside to Warner. Deflected off the knee of an Eagle, though. Now it's popped up. Hoffer takes it away, and he's fouled as he steals the ball. That's a perfect sequence of events right there for Talon Hoffer. He continues to be, you know, obviously he's a presence on offense, but defensively he has really been fantastic in this game. So here's Andy Clark now. Going to Bars in the corner. Bars off the court and into the arms of Daniel Warner, who gets the 2. Hage has it now for Davies. Gets his way around to Kaiser. Now back out top to Van Dam. Van Dam with the feed inside to Claybo, and they'll get Cava for the foul. And either way, if Cava didn't commit the foul, it looked like Claybo was going to convert that one. He commits the foul, so I guess that's better than just letting him get the 2. Hage into Claybo. Now to Thome. Thome in the corner to Machenbacher. He wanted another 3. Instead, he has to take it into the paint. Now Van Dam wide open for 3. Cannot connect on that one. Thome spins around and puts it off the glass, though. That makes it 54-37. Braden Bars on the far side. Got it just in front of the free throw line. Now in the corner to Cava. Cava to DeKaiser. DeKaiser back out top to Bars. Open for three. Does he have another one in him? No, just off the front of the rim. And Braden DeKaiser, opportunistic, getting in there. You know, Claybo and Hage were kind of caught sleeping, and DeKaiser just ran in there to knock it away.
Yeah, DeKaiser's done a great job so far tonight of kind of being very aggressive, even though you've seen the size of Davies' team. He's still doing a great job of just hanging in there with the big boys.
Machenbacher now with Bars across from him, able to juke his way away from Machenbacher, gets it to Claybo. Claybo now to Van Dam. Van Dam with defenders draped all over him, and he still gets it to go. 19-point lead for the Eagles. Here is DeKaiser along the near wing. He goes inside to Daniel Warner. Warner trying to post up, does not work. And now it's Hage bringing it right back across for Davies. The Deacons showed some promise at the beginning of this half, but the Eagles have come back with force as Claybo gets another two. DeKaiser pulling up for a deep two ball. That's in and out, and the rebound's grabbed by Hage. Machenbacher now crosses half court. On the far side, he goes to Claybo at the top of the key. Claybo inside to Van Dam. Warner able to keep that ball out, but he also commits the foul, and that's his third, so that's a number to watch. And Mears and Hoffer are getting ready to check back in, and you know, this has not been a good stretch at all for Shanley, but that's not really surprising when you consider that Mears and Hoffer, arguably the two best players in this game so far for Shanley, were sitting.
Yeah, I mean, not just that, but I think Davies has just done an excellent job of kind of putting out the little flame that Shanley had starting this half, but I mean, Davies just seems almost unstoppable at this point, and Shanley's going to really have to bear down if they have any chance of stopping them.
Yeah, well, certainly it's going to require having Hoffer and Mears in, and you know, you can't play them the whole game. That's why they were resting them, but now my guess would be Hoffer and Mears are going to stay in this one for pretty much the entire remainder. Mears out to Clark, trying to go back to Hoffer. Clark with the nice recovery as it was poked away by Thome. Clark cutting inside, and he's blocked by Van Dam. Van Dam trying to throw it out of bounds off the legs of Clark. Great recovery from Andy Clark. Got it to Joe Cava. Ball's still loose. Clark trying to save it, but it will be out of bounds off of Andy Clark. What an effort play, though, from the senior and from Joe Cava as well, working underneath. Thome looking, able to inbound to Van Dam. Hoffer active with the hands, knocks it away, but Van Dam recovers. Van Dam now brings it across half court. He has Machenbacher wide open on the far side. Mears gets back on top of him. Machenbacher backing it in. Has that pass deflected, but it still finds its way to Hage. Hage now cuts inside, looking for two, no good. Was short of the hoop, and now Hoffer will take off with it. Hoffer driving in, launches one up. I think he wanted the foul, did not get it. Clark fakes a couple times, then goes to Cava, who goes back to Clark. Fakes again, cuts inside, tried to get fancy with it. Not a lot of options, and he can't convert. 23-point for the Eagles as Van Dam goes up for two and is fouled. So, 12:43 remains in the game, as again Davies leads this one by 23. They have really built up a wide lead here in the second half.
That's going to take quite a bit for Shanley to have to come back and get back into this game.
That is for sure. And now we've got a delay in play at the moment, as I'm not totally sure what's going on. And it looks like the athletic trainer Kelly Burns is out there now, and he's going to escort Van Dam off the court. And you know what, Andy, Van Dam looked a little shaken up after the play. Honestly, I thought he was just frustrated that the shot didn't go in. I didn't see anything that would lead me to believe he was injured, but clearly something happened when he was driving to the hoop there that shook him up.
Yeah, and this could be a huge loss for Davies too, as he's been a huge presence in the paint so far, going up against some of the smaller guys. So if they lose him, they'd be missing a huge part of their team that's going great right now.
Yeah, you certainly hope he is okay. One thing about Davies, though, that we've seen is they are a very deep team. They've been able to roll a lot of different guys, and they've all been pretty effective. That's been one area where Shanley's really struggled. It doesn't help that Isaac Clava is not on the bench tonight. I'm not sure. I think he might be out with illness. I haven't seen him, and that's what I had last heard, so I'm not positive on that. I'm not trying to speculate, but it is worth noting that he's not there, and he's a guy that would normally play. Not to mention, we talked about the lack of the 3-ball. Well, that's kind of Isaac Clava's specialty. He's a spot-up shooter, so that's unfortunate for Shanley to be without him. That's really forced a couple guys to shoulder the load up front. So it's Roos shooting these free throws for Van Dam. He got the first, but not the second. And now Braden DeKaiser comes back down with it. DeKaiser at the free throw line. He goes over to Clark. Clark along the top of the key to Mears. Mears inside to Warner. Warner spins around for 2. In and out. Mears with the putback, though, and he gets it. Machenbacher working against Mears. Making him go left and right, and then throws it over to Roos. Roos back to Machenbacher, way downtown, and he gets it.
Just cannot miss tonight.
I don't know why I'm surprised at this point, but I still am, Andy, as Clark now is going to back out, go over to Mears. Mears looks inside. He kicks it out now to DeKaiser. DeKaiser driving in, looking for 2, and he is swatted. Satter coming back down with it, trying to capitalize on that momentum play. He goes into Hensel. Hensel spins around for 2, and he gets it. That's that depth we talked about. Even though Van Dam is out, he's been one of their most effective post players. They're able to bring in Nate Hensel seamlessly. The 6'8 center makes the transition into that role. Pass from Clark intended for Hoffer. Does not connect, though. And Bars will check in as Mears heads off. Machenbacher to inbound for Davies. He goes into Satter. Satter drives past Clark. Satter with that great first step, accelerating forward. He goes out to Clabo. Clabo to Machenbacher, way downtown again, and he gets it.
You almost have to wonder if Shanley's just thinking, well, here we go again whenever they see him with the ball outside the arc.
I mean, at this point, what's the point in even defending him? You can force it. You can put as many hands in his face as you want. You can keep him as far outside as you want, and it still seems like he's going to get it. They'll match up Hoffer with Machenbacher. Machenbacher again from the top of the key. This time he does not connect. A rare miss for the senior guard. Clark comes back down in a hurry. He goes out to Bars. Bars thought about the 3, kicks it out to DeKaiser. Couldn't get a hold of it, so he'll give it off to Clark. Clark to Bars on the near wing. Clabo right across from him. He got the screen. Great feed inside to Warner. Nice pass there from Braden Bars, and the Deacons will take the timeout. Well, that was a really nice play there from Braden Bars, Andy, but the fact remains it is a 28-point gap between these two squads, and that is in large part thanks to the continued shooting exhibition of Braden Machenbacher. Andy, at this point down 28 with 10:32 to go. What are your thoughts if you're Coach Burns and really just the Shanley team as a whole? How do you try to keep that positive mentality in a tough spot?
Well, that's a tough question. I think that they're just kind of thinking, let's just finish out this game, show them what we got, play strong. We may not win, but hey, at least we can put up some good effort.
Absolutely, Andy, and you're right, it is a tough question. I mean, if people knew the answer to that question, it'd be a lot easier to come back from deficits like this. But I appreciate the answer. That's about all you can do. As a coach, you're just trying to set the example at this point. Even if you're unlikely to pull off the win tonight, you still want to put in some good you want to put a good product to play out on the court. You want to play some good basketball so that you've got a little more confidence when you have to play Davies again later in the season. We've seen it throughout high school sports. Everybody knows it. A team at the beginning of the year is very different from a team at the end of the year. And, you know, look at Davies last year. They were the dominant team in the East, the clear favorite to win state, at least from the East side of the bracket. And they didn't even make state. You know, they got upset in the EDC tournament. Meanwhile, Shanley was a bubble team that found their way into the state tournament. And so you just don't know. Claybo spins around, throws it up off the backboard. No good. Hoffer lost it off his knees, though. And now Satter loads up for the three. That doesn't fall. DeKaiser gets the rebound and goes to Bars. Bars, bounce pass up to Clark. Excellent job by Hensel to catch up. There's a collision down court. And now Roos holds up, goes to Satter. Satter exploding forward for the two. Ball all the way down court to Clark. Has to chase after it. Gets it settled down. Now Claybo's on top of him. Makes a nice move to separate himself from Claybo, but the shot is short off the front of the rim. 30-point gap even now. 9:43 on the clock. Machenbacher looking inside. Nothing there. Bars right on him. Trying to get the screen. That pass a little awkward, but it found its way to Roos. Claybo drives around Warner, but Warner stands tall, puts those long arms up there to obstruct the shot. Clark in the corner for three. Yes, sir. Looks like they'll say it was a 2 as he was just inside the line. So here's Roos on the near side to Hensel. The big man at the top of the key directing traffic. He goes back to Roos, now inside to Machenbacher. Machenbacher to Hensel and then to Satter. Satter now goes to Claybo with DeKaiser on top of him. Roos inside to Machenbacher. Fakes one way, then goes the other and banks it in off the glass. Hoffer trying to get past Roos. He carries it across half court. Holds up, goes to DeKaiser. DeKaiser at the top of the key. Cycles it over to Bars. Bars gets the screen, driving in, plays it off the court to Warner. Warner couldn't get it to go. Battle for this one. It's won by Hensel. Satter across to Claybo. Claybo going to try and drive along the baseline. DeKaiser goes down. Claybo somehow got it to Hensel, and now a whistle and a foul is called on Shanley. And the Eagles right now, Andy, just overwhelming Shanley.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what Shanley's thinking at this point. They just kind of seem to be a little bit out of it at this point.
And you
kind of want it to be over.
Yeah, you know, that's what you got to try to avoid as a team. And you're right, Andy. Those are the thoughts that can creep in. Certainly, if there's one thing about this Shanley team, you know, if there's one really quality that I think is their best feature, I think it is their attitude, and that, you know, that work as a team, like we talked about. You know, they're a team that returned very few starters, graduated a huge senior class, but yet they've come in as a pretty cohesive unit, and they've got a pretty good attitude, a pretty good outlook on these games, even when they're the big underdog. And so I think that's one area that they're probably sitting pretty well in. But even the most positive of teams, the most positive of guys, when you're down 30, it's tough to keep that up. That shot no good as Hage grabs the rebound. Comes across half court, then goes over to Roos. Roos looking inside. Noel sets the screen. Now he finds Hensel. Hensel working against Warner. Hensel going up for 2, and he converts. 32-point lead now. Bars driving down the far side. Kicks it out top to Hoffer. Hoffer gets the screen, pull-up jumper for 2. Swish for Hoffer. And that's a shot, Andy, that we've seen a couple times from Hoffer, and it's worked really well. Haven't seen it a ton, though. It's maybe something I'd like to see him use a bit more. Obviously, it's pretty tough when Davies is playing this tight a defense on you, but it's still something I'd like to see him try a bit more, especially in a situation like this where you don't have as much to lose. Mears gets the rebound, tries to fire the bullet pass down court, but it's knocked away by Hage. Still loose on the ground. Hoffer going to dive for it, trying to hand it off, and they call the jump ball. Guys are falling down left and right. Mears was down way away from the play and landed awkwardly on his arm, I believe. And that was 20 seconds of just outright chaos, Andy.
Yeah, it was almost looking like a game of rugby out there on the court. Everyone diving all over the place, just doing what they can to get to that ball.
That is a very good way to describe it. as now Mears is going to have to go off the court. That's really unfortunate because he wasn't even near the play. I'm not sure what happened over there. I'm guessing he just kind of got tangled up with someone. But yeah, that's really too bad for Shanley as he was one of their top players. Jackson Lyer, though, going to check in. The junior going to try to step up in the absence of Mears. Here is Hoffer now along the near side. Hoffer looks in the paint. Not a lot of options. Goes back out to Lyer. Lyer drives in, floats one up for two. How about Jackson Lyer making his presence known? Hage now comes back down to respond. And back out there now for Davies, it is Cameron Van Dam. So that's a great sign. Again, I'm not sure what the issue was, but he's back out there, and that's really good to see. 6:37 on the clock. 75-47 in favor of Davies. Bars. Bounce pass over to DeKaiser, fakes it back to Bars. Now we'll hand off to Hoffer. Hoffer tries the three straight off that. Doesn't go. Warner floats the long two that doesn't convert, and Van Dam gets the board. Van Dam coming across half court. Bars right across from him. He goes into Noel. Noel at the top of the key. Now to Thome on the near side. Thome drives out to Van Dam in the corner. Van Dam, great move to get past Warner, elevating for two, and he's fouled. Boy, Van Dam has really got a spring in his step, I'd say. He really does a great job of elevating and accelerating.
Cameron Van Dam shooting two.
Van Dam's first free throw attempt is no good.
Checking in for the Eagles, number 21, Jake Claybo.
Claybo will come back in now for Davies, and unsurprisingly, Cava will come back in for Shanley to try and likely mirror him and just stay on top of him defensively. Second attempt for Van Dam is good after rattling around. It's now an even 6 minutes on the clock as Hoffer comes down the far side, lost it, somehow got back on top of it. Finally, Machenbacher takes it away, but only momentarily as he ended up out of bounds. Hoffer going way down to Bars, trying to get that ball to safety. Bars at the top of the key now goes to DeKaiser. DeKaiser cycles over to Lyer, and then Bars in the corner. Bars gets the screen, moving inside in the paint. Bars losing it momentarily, but able to get it over to DeKaiser. Got a whistle, though, and I think we'll have a foul against the Eagles. Boy, Andy, there's another area where Davies has really impressed me. They've limited their number of fouls. Just really, it's been staggering how few they've committed. And even Shanley has not committed much in this game. They didn't really in the first half, and they haven't here. But Davies especially has just been so disciplined.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Davies' size and strength, it would be so easy to just go in and just, you know, throw a couple kids around, get some fouls. But they've been doing an excellent job of staying aggressive while not being too overly aggressive.
So Hoffer goes into Lyer to Cava, then to Kaiser, and all the way back to Hoffer. Here's the feed into Cava. Spins around, rejected by Van Dam, and Hage takes it away. Hage all the way down to Bitts. Bitts then inside to Van Dam to Claybo at the elbow. Claybo driving in. Three men on top of him. Cava trying to take it away, and finally they'll call the foul on Cava. And you know, Andy, that is a part of why we've seen so few fouls. The referees have really been letting them play, which I know everybody's got their own taste in how they want a game to be officiated, but I really like the way they've backed off of both teams and let them play.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's always nice to see a ref who's kind of a little more laid back and just let the kids play, have fun, just, you know, be out there with the boys, have a great time.
So Bitts on the far side, inside to Claybo. Claybo to Van Dam somehow, and a travel is going to be called on Van Dam that turns this one over. Coming down court with it now, it's Braden Bars. 29-point edge in favor of Davies. As Cava will drive in looking for two, and he is blocked again. Davies using their height there quite well. Van Dam drives inside. Are they going to get him for the charge, or probably not? I think they will get it. A Deacon there.
Number 0, Jack Collins, first personal.
And that makes sense. They'll get Jackson Pollard there as Van Dam will head to the line. And boy, Van Dam, he's done a lot of things really well tonight, but perhaps none better than getting to the free throw line. He's had a little bit of trouble converting, but for the most part, he's been able to get at least one in his trips to the line.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty easy when you're a pretty tall guy. You could just kind of go up and kind of make things look like the other people on the other team aren't quite doing what they are supposed to be. And, yeah, he's done a great job of that so far tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially with a guy with his height and length, and then when he can elevate like he does, he kind of forces guys to hand check him and hit him with their arms as he's driving in. So he goes 0 for 2 on that trip, unfortunately. Pollard able to keep it in bounds. Cava does a great job recovering, and now he'll go to Lyer. Lyer along the far side at the top of the key, hands off to Clark. Clark pulls up, doesn't want it, goes over to Pollard. Pollard from the free throw line, sinks it. Bitts now has it for Davies. Lyer right across from him. Bitts out top to Van Dam. Van Dam inside to Noel. Byswinger stays tight on him. Pollard's able to rip it away on the ground. Byswinger to Cava to Clark. Clark could not hold on to it. Ball was flying around like a hot potato, and now Van Dam will kick it out. Satter for 3. He drains it. Sheesh is right, Andy. The three-point range, not just of Machenbacher, but of all these Eagles, is impressive. And their ability to score so quick in transition has been something else as Lyer pulls up for the long 3 and cannot get it. 3:50 on the clock. Van Dam headed back the other way. Van Dam taking some time off the clock now. Goes over to Roos. Roos inside to Noel. Noel with Byswinger right on him, and he gets it to go.
Substitutions for the Eagles.
Now it looks like Davies is going to make some substitutions. They'll cycle some of these guys out who've been playing a lot of minutes here tonight. And it'll be Andy Clark to inbound here for Shanley after the substitutions for the Eagles. Jackson Lyer going to take it forward. Lyer over to Byswinger, across to Pollard at the top of the key. Pollard with a nice pass over to Clark. Clark driving in. He's had a couple plays like that. He's just had trouble finishing them, unfortunately, like you saw there. Mayer has it now for Davies. Mayer loses control of it, though. Lyer, great job picking it up, but then that pass, not sure where it was supposed to go. I think he was trying to hook up with Byswinger, but instead it's intercepted by an Eagle. Bitts goes into the corner. And now here's a quick 2-shot that won't go from Hensel. Hensel had a look, but good defense on the interior. Kept it away. Pollard now has to chase this one down. Excellent adjustment made on the fly. 2:43 on the clock as Bitts comes across half court. Bitts out top. Found Heckner, but then that ball winds up out of bounds. And it'll be a turnover as this one will become Shanley basketball. 2:38 reads the clock as now Lyer brings it across half court. Shrema is checked in for Shanley as Clark wants to pull up at the free throw line. It was an awkward shot. Shrema, excellent work saving that ball. Byswinger now kicks out to Pollard. Pollard for 3. Shrema trying to save it once again, but it was just a hair out of bounds that time, they'll say. So 2:16 left on the clock. 30-point game, and Aiden Jesert comes in for Davies. Bitts and Lyer matched up once again. Bitts hands it off to Mayer. Mayer has some space, driving in for 2, and he gets it! Mayer found the seam, and he made Shanley pay. Lyer in the corner. Found a man, it was Clark. 3-ball from Clark doesn't go. Bitts gets the rebound. Here is Bitts now, going across half court. Hands it off to Mayer. Mayer going to try that same play, drives in, runs into Shrema though, and that's good D from Shrema as Lyer grabs the rebound. Lyer over to Pollard. Pollard Spins inside, looking for two. No, it won't go. Bitts pulled down the rebound, but then it's lost and winds up back in the arms of Pollard. He loads up for the three, and it's no good off the rim. Just over a minute remaining now in this game. Bitts has it on the near wing. Had some space, trying to kick it back out to Mayer. Mayer really likes to come around this left side. Shanley getting wise to it, though, so he'll pull up for the three. No good off the rim. Beiswinger got the rebound, hands it off to Clark. And now a whistle, and we'll have some substitutions for the Deacons as Emmett Kenny and Matt Machenbacher are going to check in. Beiswinger inbounds to Lyer, who goes right back to Beiswinger now with less than a minute left in regulation. Emmett Kenny at the top of the key. He goes over to Beiswinger out front. Beiswinger, not a lot of options, has to go to Machenbacher on the near side. Machenbacher going to try to drive in. No, he flips a nice little pass over to Schrema. Schrema looking for two from a tough spot. Beiswinger trying to get the rebound. Schrema now on the ground trying to tear it away. And they'll call a jump ball. So Kenny is going to inbound this one for Shanley. Looking for some options here. He's able to find Lyer. Lyer elevates for two. Won't go. Kenny fighting for the rebound. Couldn't get to it. Mayer came away with it. Lost it out of bounds. And they'll say it's last touch by Davies. So that leaves 29 seconds left and makes it Shanley basketball. Kenny into Schrema. Schrema across to Machenbacher looking for two. Machenbacher trying to power his way in there, but could not. So there's Graf giving it over to Bitts. The shot clock is turned off. The Eagles should just be able to dribble this one out. And that looks like what they will do. 10 seconds will tick off the clock as Bitts dribbles this one out. And with 3, 2, and 1, the horn will sound. And our final score, 83-51 in favor of the Davies Eagles. Andy, an impressive victory for Davies on the road. They remain undefeated, and I think we see now why they are the #1 team in the state.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much can do it all. They could shoot, they could play defense, they could be hard in the paint. I mean, their size definitely helps as well. I mean, it's a handshake line. It kind of looks like a bunch of skyscrapers. There's a bunch of little shacks, but I mean, yeah, they played a great game. Shanley, they just have to make a lot of adjustments for the future, but yeah, great game all around.
Yeah, absolutely, Andy. Davies is just one of those teams very physically gifted, that's clear. Also, you know, they've got those physical gifts, but they're so disciplined. It's clear that the coaching and that discipline is top-notch. I mean, they committed 3 fouls in this second half, and with the physical brand of basketball they're playing, that just doesn't happen very often. Shanley, like you said, they're going back to the drawing board here, but there are some things to build off of. You know, these are just the growing pains when you replace pretty much, you know, when you replace such a big senior class, 3 or 4 starters, depending on how you look at it from last year, a lot of your key bench guys, this is just how it goes. It's never fun, but in high school and college sports especially, when you're replacing classes like that, that's just how things shape up. So for tonight, for Andy Simon and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons 51, Davies Eagles 83. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.
Love you guys.